One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet whom millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
Breaking news, the Teamsters union will not endorse either candidate in this year's presidential race. Unions, a critical part, of course, of President Biden's winning coalition 4 years ago. But this year, the Teamsters president spoke at the Republican National Convention, putting support in doubt. The union represents 1.6 million workers and retirees. Let's talk about it with CNN's Kayla Tausche. Kayla, this is something that hasn't happened in decades.
It hasn't happened since 1996, Brianna, and you mentioned that unions were a critical component of President Biden's winning coalition back in 2020, and Democrats had hoped that once again, especially after the policies put forth by the Biden-Harris administration, that it would be an easy win for Vice President Harris. Now,
especially because of the policies that Kamala Harris put forth. Are you kidding me? Is this woman from CNN completely lost it? Does she not understand? That is specifically why the Teamsters are like, no, we're out. We're not going to do this. You guys are nuts. You are not going to make us pay these diesel prices for the next couple of years and everything else, high prices. It doesn't make any sense. They're done with it. They're completely over with it. I just want to ask you guys a couple things as we get ready for this rally in New York. and I want to see it in the chat. I have a question for you. Real simple question. How many of you know the red pill versus the blue pill? And the second question is, how many of you have taken the red pill? Have you really taken the red pill? Because it's really important right now, especially what's happening tonight, that those of you who have not taken that red pill do so very quickly with a large glass of liquid. Because there's things happening. I'm going to go over some of them. Hopefully I can get through all of them before the rally begins. This is one of those nights where I hope he's a little bit late, because if he's a little bit late, I'll cover more ground. But this day, in my mind, will go down in history in terms of what it means for the country, possibly and hopefully the election. There are so many things that happened today. And it was boom, boom, boom. All this news was going. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm looking at some of you guys are saying red pill since 2015. Absolutely. My young daughter, Ashley, has not taken a red pill. Some of you guys can tell her what she needs to do. She needs to find out about these 300,000 kids that are missing. She needs to find out what really happened over at that island where the guy, hung himself in a jail cell. People need to understand what's really going on with P. Diddy right now. Stuff that we're not allowed to talk about. And then what's going on in our government with the Secret Service just being completely whacked. It is red pill mania right now. Right now, if you're not into the whole red pill, I urge you to talk to some of the people in the chat family. I may not be able to hit on all of it. They're going to have to educate you. And people who've taken that red pill, bring them along slowly. Take a deep breath. Don't throw it all at them at once. They're not going to be able to handle it. They will not be able to handle it. Once that seal is broken, some people are going to have some sleepless nights. But I think today, like I said, I'm going to have to get that cigar out. Maybe I should just wait till November 5th. But today, if y'all didn't see what happened, let's continue with this.
Has secured the endorsements for most major union leaders, but this one was always outstanding. And around the time of the Republican National Convention, when Sean O'Brien, the leader of the Teamsters, took the stage to deliver remarks, stakeholders at the time were suggesting that Teamsters officials had been saying behind the scenes that they could remain neutral in this year's race. Remember, union leaders...
Oh, it's far from neutral, my friends.
Themselves have a political calculus to make within their own organizations. They are elected in many cases, and they have to keep their membership happy. And in many of these cases, they've waited until their own internal polls showed exactly how their rank and file members felt before they came out with their endorsement. And
okay, so before they show the poll numbers, which are going to blow you away, and given you understand this has been a Democrat legion, they always vote in lockstep with the Democrats. And then today, the leadership said, well, I'm hearing something. We're going to have to take a poll and discuss this. Where do you guys stand on all this, you guys and ladies?
Many of those polls were conducted in recent months. The Teamsters poll, which was conducted over the course of 6 months with sort of a...
Understand, this poll was taken over 6 months. Lots of data. 1.2, 1.3 million members. Not some little poll with, 300 people sample. Hey, we call it 300 people, and these 300 people say Kamala's, she's close in this race. Okay, hey, we called 600 people, when we talked to them, and they said, Kamala, she's right there. She's right there neck and neck with Trump. Okay, this is 1.2 or 1.3 million real people, vocal people, politically enhanced people over 6 months. Just remember all that when you see the number.
Fast track in the last month when Harris became the candidate showed overwhelming support for former President Trump in many cases. But in the statement that the Teamsters put out just a few moments ago, they nodded to specific proposals that they were unable to clinch with either candidate as the reason for remaining neutral. Sean O'Brien, who's the president of the Teamsters, saying, unfortunately, neither major candidate was able to make serious commitments to our union to ensure the interests of working people are always put before big business. He goes on to say, we sought commitments from from both Trump and Harris not to interfere in critical union campaigns or core Teamsters industries and to honor our members' right to strike, but were unable to secure those pledges.
Now understand, this is CNN trying to give ground cover for Kamala Harris and the Democrats. They're not really digesting this well that, well, you know, they didn't endorse Trump, so everything's okay. Okay, hold on.
And to many following this situation, it's not necessarily a surprise given that this position had been more or less telegraphed for the last few months, but they had dangled the possibility of a change in that stance, inviting Vice President Harris to many roundtables with rank and file members to try to have these discussions with her, only to have the end conclusion be the same.
However, we did a lot of polling.
All right, so what was that end conclusion that CNN wanted to omit? Well, the Washington Post jumped all over and they went, oh crap. Washington Post said, quote, Teamsters will not endorse for the president in blow to the Democrats. The last time the union didn't endorse a potential presidential candidate was in 1996. That's a long time ago, nearly 30 years ago. And this one, they're like, we're not, as a union, as you know, the union entity, we're not going to endorse anybody this time around. We're gonna sit back. Well, that's what the union entity had to say. The union entity is just that. What about the 1.2 million members? What about them? Well, Teamsters phone call, 58% to 31%. A whopping 17% chasm, volcano hole. Trump owns it. Trump owns it. I want you to understand, 1.2 million people, they couldn't say that it was us. They couldn't say it was, hey, the Teamsters, but the individuals are speaking up. And it's 58 to 31. It's landslide territory. This is a Democrat stranglehold for 1990s. This is them. This is everything that they've researched for. This is what they wanted. And now all of a sudden, it's gone. It's absolutely gone. And this is the union president explaining today what exactly happened.
As you know, and the polling leaned heavily towards former President Trump. So that tells you that
very heavily, Sean. And I'm just wondering, do you look disconnected from your members?
No, we're definitely not disconnected from our members because, look, we did extensive polling that was important. Our goal as leaders, as union leaders, as leader of the Teamsters, is to provide the ability for people to have a voice and to provide credible information. And we cannot dictate to our members. Our members are sophisticated. They're going to make their own decisions.
Mr. President, any reaction to the Teamsters' decision not to endorse?
No, they were. It's a great honor. They're not going to endorse the Democrats. That's a big thing. And this is the first time in, I guess, 50, 60 years that that's happened. Democrats automatically have the Teamsters. They took a vote, and I guess I was at 60% or more. And that's a great honor. I mean, it's really... I've had a lot of Teamsters work for me, a lot of the concrete trucks. They built all these buildings that you see in New York City, the Teamsters, exclusively Teamsters. I have to say they've done a great job. But the vote of the Teamsters themselves was very high for me, and the leadership.
Now, I'm going to show you where Trump is. So he's walked into this bar restaurant in New York City. And in this bar restaurant in New York City, he's there for some other reason. He's not there to talk about the Teamsters. It just happened to break news as he walked out. And what he does in this bar restaurant in New York City has to do with what we heard a couple nights ago. You guys that were on the call, you'll see what happens. This is phenomenal.
Sean O'Brien and the group, who are great people, they said we can't endorse the Democrats. So I think this is the first time in many decades that they haven't endorsed Democrats.
Big difference in those big industrial states, you think? They're going to make a difference?
I think it will, yeah, I think so.
Of course it is. Of course this makes a difference in Michigan and Wisconsin and probably even Minnesota. This is the heart of Democrat. This is the bastion of the Democrat vote. The Teamsters.
The Teamsters carry a lot of weight. The Democrats cannot believe they didn't. You know, look, this is it was always automatic that Democrats get the Teamsters, and they said we won't endorse the Democrats this year. So that was an honor for me.
And on Donald Trump.
All right, so here's Trump in that same bar, just to let you know what he's about to do. Well, you know what? I'll let them show you what Donald Trump's about to do.
He is in a bar, I believe, in downtown New York called the Pub Key in downtown Manhattan. Maybe we can play up some sound here, guys, and see if he says anything.
Now I have to keep interrupting it because obviously the sound here has some music in it, and if it's got music in it, you know what happens with you know, the guys upstairs. And I don't want them at all to cut this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn off the volume, and I'll talk through what's exactly happening here. Where's the volume here? All right, so he's in this bar, and what Trump is about to do, he is making history. He is the first United States president to make a transaction with Bitcoin. First the Teamsters, now you got the Bitcoin bros. He's actually, you know, making his transaction, using his wallet. I'm sure Barron showed him how to use it. And right now he's making that transaction with Bitcoin. First United States president ever on television showing the world, I'm the Bitcoin president. Look at that. People are going to be losing it all over Twitter and X. Some of you guys might not be up on Bitcoin. I'm not a Bitcoin expert. I'm going to get some Bitcoin people here. But the fact of the matter is he's distancing himself again from Kamala Harris, absolutely destroying her at this point in terms of what he's doing versus what she's doing. The Teamsters, the Bitcoin bros, and he's making history by being the first person to ever do that. First president to ever do it, not first person. That is absolutely huge. So he goes into this bar in Manhattan for the sole purpose of going in there and doing a Bitcoin transaction. He actually bought something with Bitcoin. Now let me just check and see if they're still playing music or not.
One or the other, but it was a big cut.
There's been quite an influx across the borders, and that has actually been one of the things that's allowed unemployment rate to rise.
Okay, did you hear what he just said? The Federal Reserve today, here's some more news, had to step in and raise interest rates, not by 25 basis points, but they went up by 50 basis points. 50, all the way up to 50. Why? Because inflation is crazy, and they're trying to basically manipulate the market before the election so that Kamala can hopefully, you know, win or something, but everybody knows what happens next. I'm telling you, this is not good whatsoever. They'll try and basically pretend that it's good. I want to let you know that when they did that 50 basis point raise, lowering of the interest rates, gold went to a record today. I've been telling you all along, watch what happens, get prepared. People didn't listen, some people did. I've been telling you. But straight up and telling you, it went to $25.95 today, but it also sent the U.S. dollar de-dollarization. I've talked about that, sinking below 0.84 francs in terms of the exchange rate with the Swiss franc is now 0.84, a 13-year low. Our dollar is shrinking. Gold prices are going up. You understand that? You see why I went with Lear Capital? You understand why it's so important that you begin hedging your bet and understanding, hey man, we might be in trouble. All this stuff is happening today on the same day that the future president of the United States walks into a bar and goes, yeah, let's go ahead and get with this Bitcoin stuff. And also you might want to buy some gold because crap's happening right now. You're taking shots at me. You guys need to be prepared. It's getting crazy. As many of you know, I've been a real estate investor for nearly 30 years. One of the aspects of real estate that I've learned is that anyone can make money in a good real estate market. But did you know you can also make life-changing money in a bad real estate market? In fact, one of my favorite business quotes is from Baron Rothschild, who famously said, "The time to buy is when blood is running through the streets." I know that sounds a little bit gross, but what he means is when everybody else is down and out, you can still make money. That's exactly what I have followed my entire real estate career. If you see what's going on in the world right now and what may happen here in America, you may want to prepare and pay attention. Of course, I'm getting my network together to make sure we're ready to buy as many foreclosures as we can. But I'm also all about protecting existing assets. You know that Lear Capital is a big supporter of this show. If you want to be protected in the event that things go off the wall, I advise you to look into buying gold and silver. We are all just one catastrophic event away from the value of the American dollar plunging. Do you know what's not plunging? Gold and silver. In fact, gold hit an all-time high recently. In fact, I think it hit it again today. I'm telling you now, make sure that you have some form of your money invested in precious metals. Lear Capital will ship your gold or your silver coins directly to your house. It's not just a certificate. You can store them in your gun safe, or you can store them off-site in a 24-hour protected facility. It's totally up to you. But when things go crazy here, or across the world, the value of the American dollar is going to decline. It's inevitable, and it might not even take a war. We may do it to ourselves. And I mean, the Federal Reserve plays around with interest rates, the US dollar will likely decline in value as well. Meanwhile, you'll see gold and silver continue to rise in value. If you call Lear Capital, they will take the time to educate you and answer all of your questions about gold and silver. Just give them a call at 800-601-5430 or go to Learberry, that's me, Learberry.com to download your free de-dollarization report. You should know that Lear Capital is an American company. If you call them today, you'll be speaking with people right here in the United States. Now is the time to take action. Don't wait until after the election. That could be too late. We all want Trump to be elected. But if he isn't, or if they find a way to steal it, you'd better be prepared. Call 800-601-5430 or go to Learberry.com. And when you call, ask them how you can get up to $15,000 in bonus gold with a qualifying purchase. There's absolutely no obligation to buy anything. Just free information on protecting your hard-earned dollars with gold and silver. You know, when you think about it, you're actually not buying anything. You're simply going to be exchanging dollars for gold, moving currency. Give them a call today. Tell them Barry sent you. So, in addition to everything else that's gone on today, and this is where a little deeper red pill is going to come in. I have to be very quick with it, got to be very shrewd with what I tell you as we're waiting for Trump to take the stage. Like I said, I hope he's a little bit late today. I got some stuff to tell you, okay? This came up today, and it was during an interview with Benny Johnson. Representative Burchett asserts that the attempted Trump assassin, Ryan Rouse, must have had co-conspirators to execute the planned attack. Now here's where the red pill comes in. Where's his money coming from? How did he get from North Carolina to Hawaii to Florida? How did he know to be on that golf course? And if you go listen to this interview, which I can't dare play, they won't let me play this here. He specifically refers to something called MK Ultra. I know those of you who have taken a red pill fully understand what that means. Treadstone, Born Identity kind of stuff, Telephone, Manchurian Candidate. We are living right now in a time where it seems that we can't trust some people we should be able to trust. There is something funky going on. Absolutely funky. And I implore you to begin doing your research. The Teamsters flipped. We have sitting congressmen talking about MK Ultra out in the open. We have pagers and cell phones and other stuff blowing up across the country. Real James Bond type stuff. We have sitting members of Congress mad because of what's happening over in Israel and Gaza, instead of worrying about America. Tomorrow night, come on back at 6:30 again, Trump is talking to the Israeli-American, at the Israeli-American conference, which I'm sure is going to freak people out. And then, tonight, in about 10 minutes, Trump decided, for some reason that nobody can really put a finger on, to do a rally in deep blue New York, albeit Long Island. What did Trump know that he said, you know what, we need to get into New York and we need to do a rally? Is New York in play? His internal numbers must be showing him that New York is in play. If he takes New York, God, I can't even imagine. If he were to take New York, bets are all off. It's game over. It's landslide like you wouldn't even know, which means don't believe any of the polls. This guy would not be in New York today if he didn't have some data that said, hey man, let's take a shot. Part of that data was, I think he got the heads up about the Teamsters. Arguably the biggest union in the country, that says, hey, listen, we can't endorse anybody, but wink de wink, my guys all want Trump. 17-point spread, 58-31. What was that number again? Let me just make sure. Did I count wrong? Oh, yeah, I counted really wrong here. My bad. I said 17 points. That's 27 points. It's even bigger than when I first glanced, I thought it said 48. That's 58. That's 27 points. You can't recover from that, Kamala. 58% of the Teamsters want Donald Trump as president? Are you kidding me? That's game over. Game over. And if he takes New York, he's probably going to take Pennsylvania. Then he'll probably take Wisconsin. And he'll probably take, Michigan. She has to be quaking in her boots. Absolutely going off the rails at this point. Now, before he takes the stage, let me show you something he did today that was pure Trump. She had done a speech earlier today talking to some Hispanic market. And she said something that we all want, including 58% of Teamsters, and she tried to make it sound like it was a bad thing. And what did Trump do? Well, he dropped it like it was hot. He said, I'm going to make a new ad out of this.
Now they have pledged to carry out the largest deportation, a mass deportation in American history. Imagine what that would look like and what that would be.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Oh my God. Oh my God, she thought that was a bad thing. And Trump's like, thank you. I'm Donald Trump and I approve this message. Thank you for putting the word out there what my plan is to get rid of all these nuts that you drove in here. Imagine, we all can imagine. Every single one of us can imagine what life would be if all these newcomers had to hit the bricks. Man. I'm going to take some comments here because I just wanted to cover all that with you. That was hilarious what's happened today. Just to let you know, and Ashley's working on the memberships division here or site, and as soon as she gets that done, maybe tomorrow, definitely by Monday, we're going to offer every single person, well, actually the first 100 people that sign up for memberships, you're going to get a free Trump Fanfare t-shirt. First 100 people that sign up for the membership will get a free Trump Fanfare t-shirt. So look for that announcement on Monday. And now that I've covered all this stuff, he's still not on stage, so it was perfect timing. Let's talk about some of this stuff, see what you guys have to say. I'm in New York State. Yeah, New York State people, my jobs are dead, but I've been talking good stuff about Trump so much things are changing. Yes, they are. She looked drunk. She did look drunk in that. Hey, can you imagine what they're going to do to these people? Oh my God. Not deportation, should be repatriation. Send them back. Come on, New York. It would be awesome if New York did come through. Tim Poll just launched his lawsuit against Kamala. Yeah, that's going to be huge. I hear thunder. Barry, yes, we all know that where'd I go with that? Well, it went away. Yes, it would look better than when they brought them in. Yes, absolutely. It's better news by day. It really is. I mean, today I was just floored. And just so you know, to finish everything off before he gets on stage, Nassau Coliseum on Long Island, Uniondale, is where, at least where they used to play the New York Rangers, the hockey team. Used to be where the New York Nets play, but they're no longer, well, they're Brooklyn Nets, but they went to Brooklyn. Anyway, this thing holds about 16,000 people. People always ask, how many people there tonight? There's going to be 15 to 16,000 people, depending on what they had to rope off for security. However, they had requested people from all over the tri-state area, New York, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, 60,000 people in deep blue country requested tickets for this event today. 60,000. Can you believe that? Let me put this up there. I can't put it up there yet. 60,000 people. So that's huge. In deep blue Northeast. He's got people, and who knows how many showed up, because I'm sure he's going to say, hey, we got 15,000 people in here right now, and there's probably 20 or 30,000 people outside. Unbelievable. Elon, RFK, Tulsi, and Trump, and the Avengers. Who are the auto workers? That wasn't that wasn't Thunder. That was the dog. How about some hats? Yeah, I'll look into that too. We can look into some hats. Let me know what you guys think would be cool. What about non-citizens voting? I don't know if you follow up with the mundane news, but they're having a hard time getting these people where they in a position where they can cheat. There's a county in Pennsylvania. I don't know where Lucerne is. I think it's in the western part of the state. No mail-in ballots at all. Let me see if I can look that up. You guys would probably love to see that. No mail-in ballots. Ain't gonna happen. Lucerne. Okay, yeah, I can bring it up right now. Breaking 3 hours ago, election officials in Luzerne County, Pennsylvania have banned all mail-in ballot drop boxes from the county, with concerns that illegal activity, aka fraud, might occur again in the 2024 election. While I recognize that drop boxes can provide an alternative means for voters to cast their ballot, I must prioritize the safety and security of our community in the current political climate. In 2022, they caught a lady attempting to stuff a drop box with 4 ballots, and she was only caught because the officials were at the drop box collecting the other ballots for the day. Just how many ballots she may have shoved in throughout the night. If they start losing mail-in ballots, they're done. They're probably already done, but who knows? But in any event, as of right now, which I'm sure they will take to court, because they go to court for everything, I'm sure they will try to get that reinstated. But as of right now, or as of 3 hours ago, no mail-in ballots in that county or area of Pennsylvania. So, what about the non-citizens voting? That's what you got to do. That's what I have to do. We have to get out there in force and make sure that we're watching and what's going on. If there are ballot boxes near you, get a friend, get a couple friends, watch these ballot boxes, take pictures and videos of everybody that looks like they're doing something. We got to do it because they can't win. They can't win. If you guys haven't seen the movie 2,000 Mules, definitely go see it. They can't win unless they do it. There is no possible way at this point. And I hope all of you understand this. The Democrats just lost the biggest voting bloc they've had and controlled for decades. Trump just got the Teamsters. Over 1 million. So if it's 58 to, whatever, he just got the overwhelming part of the Teamsters. And they're friends. They have friends. They talk. They have family members. This is going to be huge. No red pill for me until the rhinos are out. Trump Vance 2024. Yep, absolutely. They need cameras at all the ballot boxes, and I don't know why they just don't go ahead and put 24/7 security. Hire guards, have them stand there. Just, why not? Their money is there. We know people have raised gazillions of dollars. Hire guards. Hey, I'm not stopping you from voting. I'm just watching and making sure you don't cheat. There's no way these people, no way they can win at this point legally. Yeah, it's huge for the Rust Belt. We're only September 18th. I can't imagine what the so-called October surprises are going to be, because everybody waits to see what's going to happen, and at this point, it's just happening too fast. Too fast. Don't discount what's happened over in Israel and stuff in the last couple of days, with them having the nuked pagers and the nuked cell phones and solar flares, and can you imagine? You're over there. You're one of these, donkey riders, and all of a sudden you decide to page somebody and go poof, and you're watching people around you just get blowed up, and then you say, okay, that was I made it. Let me just use my cell phone. Poof. Netanyahu manned up. In fact, there was a video I showed Robin earlier, and it was like people are talking to Netanyahu, and it said people are comparing you to James Bond, and he takes his sunglasses and he looks in the camera and goes, Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu. And I just thought, I got chills. I'm like, dude went seriously manned up. Freaked out Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib, and of course AOC freaked out. Oh, it's genocide. And people are like, well, if you were hanging out with a terrorist, that's how you got it. Teamsters haven't endorsed Trump. They aren't endorsing anyone from what I've read. I didn't say the Teamsters were endorsing Trump. I think you might have just got in late. No, did I say that? No, I didn't say that. Never said it. I said the Teamsters entity isn't endorsing anybody. What I said was 58% of their membership want Trump. Do I need to show it to you again? Because maybe you didn't see it. Let me. You just got here. Let me just show it to you so you can see it. This is a Teamsters poll that they conducted over a 6-month period, talking to their 1.2 million members. And the last one was conducted September 9th through September 15th, and 58% of the Teamsters polled said they want Trump. That's what I'm talking about. And I don't care what kind of, if you're a lib or not, doesn't matter. You can't, there's no way you can dissect that and think it's good for the Democrats. In fact, as I also showed, even the Washington Post knew that. The Washington Post came out and said Teamsters will not endorse for president, in a blow to the Democrats. It's so bad in our political society at this point that not being endorsed is a blow to a party. Just imagine that. But at least they got Tay-Tay, right? Yeah, Taylor Swift, yeah. Nobody cares. These are real people. These are the Teamsters. And now I see people are mad at Patrick Mahomes because his wife, she said some stuff about Trump and other guys. You can't make people change who they are just because you don't like Trump. And that seems to be a fact at this point. Barry Darren is late for school. He might have been. See that there? Oh yeah, they didn't endorse Trump. No, the entity didn't endorse Trump. That'd be like saying the NFL didn't endorse Trump. But you don't know what the individual players, who they're going to vote for. Well, now we know that 58% of the 1.2 million Teamsters wants Trump. Basically, they put their own organization in checkmate at this point. Yeah, Taylor Grift, her endorsement backfired. Yep, absolutely. Awesome. I live in Luzerne County. So here's somebody, Andrea, who lives in Luzerne County. So she now knows her elections are pretty much going to be clean. Shapiro, I don't know what they have in store. I know that Scott Presler's out there and he's registering people in volume, but it's looking really good. And I'm telling you, and I've been telling you, don't even look at these polls anymore. These people are beside themselves. They're juggling. They're trying to do all kinds of things. People are digging in, going, there's where you cheated. There's where you're fixing it. Let me see if I can pull this up. There was a post today where somebody, I think it was Clay Travis posted it, where they pulled out where somebody was basically scamming. Let me see if I can find it real quick. And it was just so funny because it was so blatantly obvious that they were spiking the punch with this thing. Where is it? So, okay, here it is. Actually, he retweeted it. So this was the actual tweet, or post rather, on X. It says, looking at Quinnipiac's polling in Pennsylvania, and you can immediately spot the error. Trump is not losing. In their poll, they said Trump is losing seniors by 9. Nope, he's winning whites. He's not losing seniors. He's not winning whites by just 4. He's likely winning seniors about 7 to 9%. He's likely winning whites 15 to 20. This is an easily a 4 to 6 point shift to Trump. And he's showing you specifically where they tried to game the poll right there. Right here, you can see where it says 53-44, and then down here they're trying to say he's losing the white vote. And these people who do this for a living are calling out these pollsters left and right. Left and right. Oh, you're full of it. We caught you. We caught you again. And of course, then they retract and go, we're not sure how that happened. Yeah, we do. We know exactly how it happened. You're trying to fudge the numbers. And at this point, just like with the ballot boxes, there are way too many people. We got eyeballs on these things going, we found it. Here it is right here. You cheated here. And you tried to hide that like on page 96 of your methodology so nobody could see it. And let's see who's walking out. The man is indeed walking out. As you know, I can't play, I can probably put it on, but just not play the music. Let me see if I can cut this real quick. Okay, you can see him coming out. Let me get ready here. And I'm just waiting for them to stop the music, and then we can go to the live feed. But at least you can see him walking out. That's what's important. Let me just check the music again. Yeah, still singing. This is awesome. New York. This is the man's hometown. He's bringing it home. I love it. I absolutely love that he's in New York. Absolutely amazing that he's in New York. I still call it New York City, even though it's in Long Island. It's still right there. It's right there. If you guys have watched this before, you know what he does. He has to wait, and he lets the music play, and then while he's waiting for the music to play, he does his little dance, which I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Just to let you guys know, I'm going to be doing that dance that he's doing right now because, let me see where we are. Ashley's telling me I've got to do the dance tomorrow because we just broke 300,000 subscribers. 300,000 people. Thank you very, very, very much. Let me check this music. And he's ready to hit the stage. All right, here we go. New York, baby. New York.
Wow. This is a big crowd. This is a big crowd. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, everybody, and a very big hello to New York. And
let me know if the sound is okay. I got to do that sound check. Let me know if you guys can hear fine.
And I'm thrilled to be back in the state I love with thousands of proud, patriotic New Yorkers who are really the heart and soul of America. We know that. And the reason I'm here is because it hasn't been done in many decades. It hasn't been done for a long time, but we are going to win New York.
He must have some internal data. Oh my goodness. He's coming for New York. Wow.
And that's the first time in many, many years that a Republican can honestly say it, and we're going to do it. We have to do it. We do it, and the election nationwide is over. We take over the White House, and we fix up our country, okay? We fix up our country. So as you know, 3 days ago, there was yet another assassination attempt on my life. I didn't know I was going to say that. It was the second one in 8 weeks by a violent radical left mobster. This evil would-be assassin got within a few hundred yards of where I stood, but thankfully, our outstanding Secret Service agent, and they are outstanding, spotted the barrel of his rifle in the bushes. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? He saw a barrel of a this was a big barrel. This you don't want to even talk about, AK-47. But he saw the barrel coming out a little bit out of the very lush bushes, and he took fast action to stop the gunman before I even entered the line of sight. And I want to express my thanks to the U.S. Secret Service, who was there that day, and to all of the sheriffs and law enforcement down in Florida, they're heroes who helped to apprehend the attacker. And by the way, you possibly heard the story. So the secret agent, service agent, pulled out the gun and started shooting. He said, a barrel. He didn't talk like a lot of people. They talk. How are you, sir? What would you like to talk about? Would you like to talk about the weather? No, he pulled out the gun and he started shooting at him. And the villain... No, but think of this. This could only happen with a woman because men aren't smart enough, I hate to tell you fellas. So he dropped his gun, his car was a block away, and he started running because they had him. And he was running. And a woman driving a car innocently said, he looks like a bad person to me. He looks very suspicious. And she followed him and pulled up to the back of the car and started taking pictures of his license plate. Can you believe that? And she took the pictures of his license plate, perfect, beautiful pictures like a professional photographer, and sent them to the sheriff and said, I just looked at a man, there was something strange going on. Who the hell would do that, right? Only a woman, only a woman. Well, and I asked the sheriff today, I said, so Sheriff, if you had 1,000 events, how many people would have done that? Man or woman, how many people would have done that? Followed him, taken pictures of the license plate and also the type of truck that he was driving. He said, maybe none. So she's a hero, I gotta meet her. And because of that, they were then able to catch him in a very speedy drive down the various highways in Florida, but they got him, and they got him fast. But I think it's incredible. So the agent and that wonderful woman And with all of my heart, I thank you all for your incredible valor. What you've done is incredible. What the people of our country and law enforcement does in this country is incredible. Tonight, let me also deliver a message straight to Kamala Harris. Have you heard of her? Who, by the way, was just rated by far the most liberal senator in the U.S. Senate, more so even further left than Bernie Sanders and Pocahontas. Pocahontas. She's more so. Elizabeth Warren, she's more left than Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren. Let me also deliver a message straight to Kamala Harris, the radical left Democrat politicians, and the fake news media. Look how many are there. We've got to get our media back in this country. We've got to get them back. But the message is it's time to stop the lies, stop the hoaxes, stop the smears, stop the lawfare or the fake lawsuits against me, and stop claiming your opponents will turn America into a dictatorship. Give me a break. Because the fact is that I'm not a threat to democracy, they are. They're doing things in politics that have never been done before in the history of our country. And worst of all, with their open borders and bad elections, they have made us into a third world nation, something which nobody thought was even possible. Americans deserve a campaign based on the issues. We try and keep it on the issues. And God has now spared my life. It must have been God. Thank you. Not once, but twice. And there are those that say he did it because Trump is going to turn this state around. He's going to turn this country around. He's going to make America great again. And maybe. And we're going to bring back religion into our country. Bring it back. These encounters with death have not broken my will. They have really given me a much bigger and stronger mission. They've only hardened my resolve to use my time on earth to make America great again for all Americans, to put America first. Going to put America first. Earlier today, I was honored to receive the endorsement of the rank and file membership of the Teamsters. I love the Teamsters. They delivered all that concrete for those buildings I built in New York. They delivered the big, heavy, most beautiful trucks you've ever seen. They delivered the concrete in all those buildings I built in New York. But, you know, this hasn't happened in so many decades. We won the overwhelming majority of the local chapters and the members, and as a result, the national organization has refused to endorse the Democrat candidate for the first time in many, many decades. And I also want to thank Teamsters President Sean O'Brien, amazing man, and all of the incredible rank and file Teamsters across the country, because this was a surprise. It's automatic. They endorse the Democrats, automatic for many, many decades. But you know what? They said, they looked at her, they said, we're not going there, I'm sorry. These are tough people. And together we will secure our borders, we will protect our workers, we will defend our jobs, we will rebuild our country with American skill and American pride and American labor. Right? And just as a little side note, We should give them a round, especially because of what they and how they voted today. If they voted the other way, I wouldn't give them a round. But the Teamsters built out this beautiful stadium for tonight's event. Thank you, Teamsters. Thank you. They did a great job. To every hardworking American, whether you live in a red state, a swing state, or a state with a failed Democrat rule, this year we need to elect all Republicans up and down the ballot. We have to clean out and straighten out our country. With your vote, we are going to rescue our country. We are going to rescue our Democrat-run states. We are going to start by saving the great state of New York. Is that good? When I told some people in Washington, yeah, I'm going up to New York, we're doing a campaign speech, they said, what do you mean New York? You can't ever, nobody can win, Republicans can't win. I said, I can win New York, and we can win New York. We're going to win New York. And if you vote for me, I'm going to reduce your taxes, reduce your crime, and reduce your levels of stress, because you have a lot of stress. The only thing that I will increase are your incomes, and your love for your state will come roaring back again. Throughout American history, from generation to generation, New York has always set the standard for American life, and they have. It's been a high standard, too. Our cities were the center of business, arts, culture, our streets, ports, waterways, and they were the arteries of American commerce. They were absolute arteries. And our towns like Uniondale, Levittown, Hicksville, Huntington, these were great, great towns where you grew up and you loved and you stayed. But look at what has happened to New York and the other states, all run by radical left Democrats, every single one of them. Our heavy industries have exported overseas, and our middle class has been eviscerated, right here at home, been eviscerated. Housing costs are out of control. Inflation has cost a typical family $28,000. Think of it, in less than 4 years, $28,000. And we filthy encampments. We have horrible, disgusting, dangerous, filthy encampments of junkies and homeless people living in places that our children used to play Little League baseball, which they don't get to play very much anymore, do they? Over the past 3 years in New York City, there has been a 29% increase in robbery, a 36% increase in felony assault, a 42% increase in grand larceny, a 75% increase in carjackings. Did you buy a nice car lately? While 200 police officers leave the NYPD, New York's finest, I always say, I knew it well, New York's finest. They leave every single month, 200 people a month. Incredible people. They're incredible people. The trains and subways are squalid and unsafe. The median of our highway, all those medians, they spend all that money, they're falling down, they're rotting. Businesses are fleeing. The mobs of illegal migrants are being put up in luxury hotels at your expense, while our great veterans live on the freezing or steaming sidewalks right outside the main entrance to where the migrants enter their hotel. Think of that. Think of it. We have veterans lying on the street, squalid, lying on the street, sometimes freezing, sometimes it's hot, it's summer. And they're looking at people just came into our country, and they're going up to the 17th floor of their suite. How crazy has our country become? And can you imagine what those veterans, when they watch this, must be saying? But listen to this. Can you also imagine what the migrants must be thinking? They're saying, can you believe this? We just came from a place, in many cases, they were in prisons. And now they're living in hotel suites while our veterans are living on the street. And so I say to the people of New York, with crime at record levels, with terrorists and criminals pouring in, and with inflation eating your hearts out, vote for Donald Trump. What the hell do you have to lose? What do you have to lose?
Come on, show some love and click that like button.
What do you have to lose? Think of it. What the hell do you have to lose? You know, some of you remember that was a phrase that I used for our black population years ago in 2016. I said, with the worst housing conditions, the worst education, the worst this, the worst that, the most crime. I went through 12 different things, and it wasn't in the sheets. And I'm saying, boy, that's really terrible. And I said, and I was at like 2%, not too good. And I said to the black population gathered in front of me, vote for Trump. What the hell do you have to lose? I said that, same thing. And you know what happened? I got eviscerated when I went backstage. But I'm not like Biden where he takes, I fight back with my people. Remember, we still signed the check. They said, sir, that's a terrible thing to have said. I said, when you said, what the hell do you have to lose? It's terrible, it's demeaning, it's horrible. I said, but it's true. You know what happened? The next day, I picked up 10 points with the black population. And now, because of all we've done, we're at the highest level of black support in the history of the Republican Party. And by the way, the Hispanic support, do we have any Hispanics? The Hispanic support is off the charts, and they don't know what the hell to do about it. It's off the charts. And we just had some great polling come out. I think the most accurate poll over the last 8 or 9 years was Rasmussen. They just came out with a poll that we're 5 up. We're 5 up. 5 up. We should be 35 up, to be honest with you. But, some people can't break an old habit. That's really what it is. So I say to you, vote for Trump, and I will turn it around very quickly with 4 more years of Kamala Harris. New York State will be like a third world nation if it isn't already. It is. I think it is. With Trump, the Empire State will once again be the envy of the entire world. We will have no crime, only success. And unlike your current radical Democrat regime, I'm not driven by partisan ideology. I'm driven by results, and I'm driven by New York common sense. It's common sense, right? Right? It's common sense. I like to say the party, this is a great party. I like to say the party is really, we're conservative and all that, right? Who knows? You know what we are? We're really people with common sense. We need walls. We need good elections. We want low taxes. We want great police officers that are well taken care of. We don't want to defund the police. We're the party of common sense more than anything else, and it's picked up a lot of steam. It's true. My first week back in the Oval Office, I will clean up and call up your governor and mayors all across your state, and I will tell them it's time to work together. They're largely Democrats. It's time to work together for the good of the people. Going to do it. And despite all of the persecution I've endured from the corrupt judicial system in New York, it's a corrupt system. I love the people of this state, and I want to give back. I want to give back to you. I've had a great life. I want to give back to you. We're going to give it back to you. We're going to make this city and we're going to make this state incredible again. Together, we will rebuild our roads, bridges, highways, and airports. They're falling apart. They're falling down. We will renovate New York subway. Oh, that's beautiful. I used to go to school in the subway. Can you believe it? I mean, I like to say it's not so long ago, but it probably is. What do you think, Bruce? I guess it is. But my parents would drop me off at a subway, and I'd go to Union Turnpike, or I'd go to wherever They had no fear that I was going to be disappearing. They would take me to a subway, put me on and say, bye, darling, bye. If you do that today, you have about a 75% chance that you'll never see your child again. What the hell has happened here? What has happened? We will renovate the New York subway so that the greatest city in the world finally has, again, the greatest transit system anywhere in the world. You have the basics. We have to clean it. We have to take care of it. We have to give it a little love. And we have to get the criminals the hell out of there. We will once again support our incredible police officers, New York's finest. A lot of them. You know, I've got the support. To me, this is so important. I think to you, it's every single police group in the nation is supporting me. The other day, the Fraternal Order, it's the largest. They gave us 400,000 police, and they gave us a unanimous endorsement. We have it from everybody. We have it from everybody. We will work with the mayors and the governor to rebuild your defunded and depleted police forces, including New York's finest and NYPD. Look, I know so much about it. I love New York's finest. I used to be in Brooklyn. I had an office with my father in Brooklyn. And we used to go in Brooklyn to a White Castle. Did anyone ever hear of a White Castle? And my father would say, no, that's the best place. Only 12 cents a hamburger. Remember? 12 cents. Bruce, we had Bruce. How good is Bruce? Bruce Blakeman, one of the greats. He won in an upset. You know, this is a Republican. He ran a couple of times. You couldn't beat this hoax of Democrats. He ended up winning. He's done such a good job. He's now unbeatable. They don't even run anybody against him. Great. Really great. We got a lot of them. Joe Cairo's here. Joe, are we going to win, Joe? What do you think? Joe Cairo. Don't mess with Joe, right, Joe? We love you, man. Your family's great, too. But I will stop the Kamala crime wave, and we will do everything we can. We're going to get these violent criminals behind bars. We're going to get them out of our country. We're going to take them back to the country from which they came. A few months ago, I visited with the grieving family of a New York City police officer, Jonathan Diller. You know Jonathan Diller? I was hoping his family could be with us. He was just 31 years old, gunned down during a traffic stop by a vicious thug, leaving behind his incredible wife, Stephanie, and family, their one-year-old son. What a son. And are you here? Are they here? They could be here. Is Stephanie here? Because, you know, it was a bond, and she was so great, and I think she's here. It's hard when you have 19,000 people. And Stephanie, unlike a lot of my friends, doesn't want adulation. Honestly, what she wants more than she wants her husband back. That's what she wants. She doesn't want adulation. I have other friends. You'd find them. I have other friends. If you said their name, they'd be jumping up. Here I am. Here I am. Stephanie doesn't want that. What a great family, and what a great guy he was. The criminal charge was savagely murdering Officer Diller, was previously arrested by the NYPD 21 times, right? 21 times, Bruce. And the accomplice driving the car had been arrested 14 times, but he was actually much worse. He was more vicious. 14 times, but he was actually far more vicious. This is the kind of story we hear every single day under radical Democrat policies like cashless bail, cashless bail. You kill somebody and you're out on the streets in 2 hours. Cashless bail has been a disaster for our country. Kamala Harris wanted it no matter where she went. She boasted about being the leader of the movement of cashless bail, just like she led the effort to defund the police. You know, she was the leader of the effort to defund the police, and now she's running for president. But a little while ago, like everything else, no fracking, no this, no, she changed her mind. Now she says she likes the police. She can't say love, but she says like. She's made a lot of progress, but you know the first thing that would happen is she will go to defunding the police, if that's even possible to think about. But when I get back into the Oval Office, the madness ends and the law and order is going to return to our country. A fully reformed Federal Department of Justice will deliver massive public safety funding for New York and other Democrat-run cities that are under siege. But in exchange, they will give our police back their protection and their respect. We are going to take care of our police, and we're going to respect our police. Everyone here does. I tell the officers all the time, you have no idea how the people love you, but sometimes they don't feel it because of what the Democrats do to them. They will end deadly sanctuary city policies, they will terminate cashless bail, and they will return to proven policing methods like we had under Mayor Rudy Giuliani that made New York City the safest big city in America. Simultaneously, we are going to make life in New York State affordable again. Little word, affordable. A vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for 4 more years of job losses. Look at what's happening. Businesses that are fleeing, money draining out of your state, and hundreds of thousands of illegal migrants sucking your public resources dry. You know, I've always heard for 20 years, I've heard that New York City has no money, and yet they're going to spend $3 billion on illegal migrants, and they're not getting it from the federal government. You wonder, they never had money, but they have $3 billion to take care of people that came into our country illegally. Doesn't make sense. But under the Trump economic plan, we will cut your energy prices in half within 12 months. Half! Because we have more liquid gold under our feet and we don't use it. We go to places like Venezuela when we have more than Russia. We have more than Saudi Arabia. You remember I got Anwar approved in Alaska. It's the biggest site anywhere in the world, probably bigger than Saudi Arabia, bigger than Russia. And what did they do? In the first week in office, Ronald Reagan tried so hard he couldn't get it. I got it. The biggest site in the world, Alaska. And in the first week in office, they terminated it. We'll have it back very quickly, I promise you that. We will rapidly defeat inflation. We're going to bring your prices down. All they're doing is they've cut it, but you're up 55 or 60%. People that used to live a nice life 4 years ago, they can't afford an apple. A woman, they showed a picture of a woman the other day. I said, boy, that's sad. That should never happen to her. She went to the counter, the cashier. She had 3 apples. And when she was standing with the cashier, she realized she didn't have enough money for one of the apples, and she took the apple, brought it back, and she bought 2 apples. That shouldn't be happening in our country. That shouldn't be happening in our country. We will cut interest rates, cut insurance costs, and insurance is horrible. And massively, we will cut your taxes again. I gave you the largest tax cut in the history of our country. And we have some to go. Kamala Harris, as you look at her plan, will give you, very simply, the largest tax hike in American history. She's going to lift your taxes. This is the only person I've ever seen, and Biden too. They announced that they're going to raise your taxes, and it's supposed to be good politically. I don't think so. I don't know. I've never seen that, Anthony, before, where they say they're going to raise your taxes. They're going to raise your taxes. Vote for me, I'm going to raise your taxes. Can you believe it? I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that, because the news will say, vote for me, I'm going to raise you. They're going to say, they're going to attribute it to me. I can't do that. I told our great First Lady I will not be sarcastic anymore. When you joke or when you're sarcastic, the fake news will take a story like that. I'll say, I never said I was going to raise your taxes. Yes. Vote for me, I'll raise your taxes. Kiddingly, kiddingly, kiddingly. These people are the worst. When I imitated Joe Biden because he couldn't get off the stage. So I'd imitate him because he couldn't find the stairs and look around. He finished the speech would last maybe 3 minutes, maybe a little less than that. And then he'd want to get off the stage, and it'd always go like this. But you remember, we're not running against him, we're running against somebody who's actually much worse. Ready? And he'd go like this. And then he'd walk in a different direction. It was the weirdest thing. And Secret Service did a great job. They'd come up in the stage and they'd pull him out. Like today, we have 4 or 5 stairs. You always have 4, 5, 6 stairs. The more it's government-owned, the more stairs you have. But you always have a lot. So I said to our great First Lady, who can draw a crowd? Did you watch me tonight on television, First Lady? People love our First Lady out there. Go out and get a book. She just wrote a book. I hope she said good things about it. I don't know. I didn't. So busy. She just wrote a book called Melania. Go out and buy it. It's great. And if she says bad things about me, I'll call you all up and I'll say, don't buy it. Get rid of it. No, but she said to me, I said, baby, did you see the crowd? We had 18,000 people. We could have filled it up 3 or 4 times. Bruce Blakeman said to me, if we went to a stadium or a park, we would have had 100,000 people or more. So I'd call up my wife and I'd say, baby, who could draw crowds? Nobody can draw crowds like me. Nobody, not even close. I'm the greatest of all time, maybe greater even than Elvis, because Elvis had a guitar. I don't have a guitar. Elvis had a guitar. I don't have the privilege of a guitar. But I'd say, baby, who could do it like me? Nobody can do it like me. How great am I? And she'd say, and she'd say, I'd say, how great was the speech? Not how good, how great was it? And she'd say, it was good, but your hair looked terrible tonight. Or the worst ever. So I said, how good was it, First Lady? And she said, it was good, but you couldn't find your way off the stage. I was imitating Biden, and they said I did it. I couldn't find my way off the stage. No, so you can't be sarcastic. Sarcasm with the media doesn't work, okay? It doesn't. So I've given up about 90% of it. I got all my friends here. Anthony, stand up. Anthony Lomangino, one of the greats of all time. He said, I have a big business problem. What? I have too much cash. I don't know what to do with it. I said, I've heard of worse problems than that, Anthony, right? He's doing good. He's a great man, great businessman, and a great person. Kamala wants income tax hikes, small business tax hikes, capital gains tax hike. How about the capital gains? She wants a tax, unrealized capital gain. That means she wants to give you a capital gain Even if you have stock, she wants to give you a capital gain even if you didn't sell it. You know, I know a lot of people, they're very rich, but they don't have cash. They're rich, but they don't have cash. A lot of them. You know, it's like that. Farmers are like that. They have great land, great everything. They make income, but they don't have cash. And you know what I did for farmers and small business and the tax hike? And nobody talks about this. I got rid of the estate tax, so that, or the death tax, as they would call it, so that when you die and you pass it on to your children who you love, if you don't love your children, then it's not going to do you any good. And there are those. Does anybody in this incredible arena, they did a nice job, by the way, fixing it. I remember the old one. Does anybody in this incredible arena not love their children? Who in the arena is rich and will not leave their money to their kids? Because if that's the case, then what they did for you doesn't mean anything. Do I have any hands? 20,000 people and I have no hands. Okay, who wants to leave their money to their kids? That's good. Well, you know, in the old days, you'd leave the money to the kids, and what would happen? The kids would have to go out and borrow money. They'd lose everything. They had to borrow money from a bank at a high rate of interest. Now they don't have to do that anymore. Now you can leave your farm, you can leave your small business to your kids, but Kamala wants to end that. She wants to end it. She wants to raise your tax to a level that nobody's ever heard of before, and it's crazy. We will go in to a I thought this was a wise guy coming up. This guy, I thought, I'm getting ready. I'm going like this. You know, I got a little bit of a yip problem here, right? That was amazing. I was all ready to start duking it out. I felt like my man in the front row here. Stand up, will you please? This is the toughest man. You know him? Do you all know? I'm going to introduce you later so you can sit. He's the toughest guy. If somebody walked on the stage, he wouldn't be afraid. He would already be attacking the poor guy. Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it? It's the first time that's ever happened, I think. Is he new to the game? I think so. By contrast, I will cut taxes for families, small businesses, and workers, including restoring the SALT deduction, saving thousands of dollars for residents of New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and other high-cost states. Going to restore SALT. Jobs and factories will pour back into New York. I know how to do it better than anybody's ever known how to do it, and we can do it so easily. Wages will soar, the cost of living will fall, and I will deliver the greatest economy in the history of the world to our country, and one of the greatest economies in the history of New York State. And a key part of restoring safety and saving our economy is stopping the invasion at the border of our country. It's crazy. Under border czar Kamala Harris, you know, she was the border czar until she started looking at this situation, until the coup. I say until the coup because there was a coup. But she was a border czar. Now she said, I was never the border czar. You know what? Give her that. But she was in charge of the border, and the border is the worst run border in the history of the world. There's never been a border like this. 21 million people, illegal aliens are coming in from all over the world, from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylums. Many tourists are coming in just to watch. Did you ever see this? You have tourists that line up to take pictures of it. They usually turn out to be the fake news, and the pictures are so bad they never show it. You know, the fake news never, ever talks about it, but we have massive numbers of terrorists coming in to our country. You have everybody coming in. We have people that can't speak the language. The great Tom Homan told me the other day, great guy, central casting guy, great guy. He told me the other day, last month, they figured it out for the last 12 months, 168 different countries came in, represented, and came into our country. Most people don't even know you have that many countries. You actually have over 200, but most people don't know. But I want to be known as one thing. In 2016, I probably won because of the border. I did a great job. I cleaned it up and the border was good. And in 2020, even though I got millions and millions more votes, they said, sir, if you get the same number of votes as you did in 2016, 63 million, sir, you cannot lose. I got millions more, and I lost. But you know what? We're going to have the greatest win in history when we pull this one off. It's going to be legendary. But in 2020, my people would say, sir, it doesn't help for you to speak about the border. Nobody cares. I said, I want to speak about the border. I did a great job. Sir, nobody cares. It's true. I talk about the border. Nobody cared. But now they care. Because now the border is 25 times worse than it was in 2016. Now the border is not even believable what's happening. And I want to be known as your border president. I'm going to be known as your border president. And Kamala will be known as your invasion president. Just let them all come in. Let them all come in. Now, we got to save our country. Our country's going down. If you look at what's happening with the Venezuelans taking over, I mean, they're taking over large pieces of real estate in Colorado, and you have a Democrat governor who's petrified of them. He's afraid. I'd never seen anything like it, and he doesn't want to talk about it. They've taken over your buildings and your land. You got to do something about it. That wouldn't happen with Bruce Blakeman, I can tell you right now. Bruce, would you let people come in from a foreign country like Venezuela, where, by the way, their crime rate is down 72% because they've taken their prisoners, they've taken their gangs, they've taken their drug dealers, and they've shipped them all to the United States, so their crime rate's down. But Bruce, would you ever tell the people that you're supposed to be protecting when they call? A lot of Venezuelans are in here and they have very big guns. Would you say, listen, I don't really want to do anything about it? Would you do that? Or would you say, don't worry, we'll have a force of people over there within minutes and it would all be over, right? Right? I think so. No, he wouldn't play games. He wouldn't play games. But you know, these people, the law enforcement, they're afraid in these places because it's so violent. They've never seen people like this. These are violent people that they're allowing into our country. It is truly an invasion, and we're not going to let it happen. We're going to take those violent people and we're going to ship them back to their country. And if they come back in, they're going to pay a hell of a price. Thank you. We have no choice. We have no choice. It's not like, you know, this is not sustainable by any country. This is not sustainable. How about in Springfield, Ohio? They had 32,000. This is a little beautiful town. No crime, no problem. 32,000 illegal immigrants come into the town, 32. So they almost doubled their population in a period of a few weeks. Can you believe it? And you know what? They've got to get much tougher. I'm going to go there in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to Springfield and I'm going to Aurora. You may never see me again, but that's okay. Got to do what I got to do. Whatever happened to Trump? Well, he never got out of Springfield. I'm leading in Ohio by like 15 points, a lot. And we're going to take care of Ohio, and we're going to take care of Colorado, and we're going to take care of every single state in the union. They're all under siege. A lot of people don't talk about. But think of this. So the mayor of Springfield, and I think he's a very nice person, but instead of saying we're getting them all out, we're getting them out, he says very simply, we're hiring teachers to teach them English. Can you believe it? We are hiring interpreters, so when they go to school and take the place of our children in school, we have an interpreter. Each one will have a private interpreter. What the hell is wrong with our country? No. We're getting them out of our country. They came in illegally. They're destroying our country. We're getting them out. They're going to be brought back to the country from which they came. I will protect our country. I will protect our country. Think of it. She will surrender our country. That's what they're doing. They still refuse to acknowledge that these people have to be taken out. And you start with the stone cold killers, the murderers, the drug dealers. You get them out, and you tell them if they ever come back, big trouble. But let me tell you what you really do. Some of them are so bad you can't take the chance of sending them out because they'll come back. You lock them up, and they're going to be there for a long time. And when they know that, you'll see a whole big difference. As you know, here on Long Island, the open borders policies of Kamala Harris, and it were really her policies, and the communist left, I call it the communist left, have been importing MS-13 gang members by the thousands. I don't know what it is about Long Island, but I took thousands and thousands of gang members out. Do you remember the story? Remember, I came into the presidency, and MS-13 was on my mind because I saw that in Long Island, two beautiful young girls were walking to school. They were 16 years old, and an MS-13 gang of deviants grabbed the girls and sliced them up into pieces. Not with guns. They didn't want guns. They killed the two girls. They sliced them into little pieces, and I never forgot that. And then I found out that things like that are happening all over, wherever they are. MS-13, the worst gang anywhere. The only thing good about that is they make our gangs look like very nice people, I want to tell you. These are the worst people. They're animals. And Nancy Pelosi said, you shouldn't call people animals. That's not appropriate. They're animals. That's the philosophy. And I got to the White House, and I said, they have a lot in Ohio, a lot in every state. And I said, I want MS-13 out of here. They come from various places, a little bit south of Mexico. They come from Mexico, too. And I said, what I want you to do is I want to bring them out. And a general said, sir, I'm sorry, sir. The countries will not, under any circumstances, allow us to bring them back in. They don't want them anymore, sir. I said, how long has this been going on? Many years during the Barack Hussein Obama. Has anyone ever heard of him? Many years, sir, under the Barack Hussein Obama administration. It's been going on for years, sir. They won't take them. You know what they do? They would take Honduras, okay? Think of it. They would take planes, and they would put them on the runways. They would put the planes, El Salvador, or different countries, some of the roughest gangs. They put big commercial aircraft. So when a plane is going to fly in with 200 or 300 MS-13 killers, you couldn't land the plane. They said, sir, we can't get them back. All of the bus routes are blocked. We can't get the buses in. And when they know a plane is coming, they put planes on the runway. Sir, we won't be able to do it. I said, I think you will. How much money do we pay them for? Economic development of the dictator's house. How much money do we pay them, General? I'll get back to you, sir. He comes back the next day. Sir, we pay them $750 million a year. It's a lot. Let me tell you, it's peanuts compared to some of the money that we pay, but it's a lot of money. I said, inform these countries that under no circumstances are they getting any money anymore. They're not getting any money. They are delinquent. They're not allowing us to bring back people that they forced into our country through caravans. So they informed them, and the next day I get to the Oval Office nice and early, and I get calls from 3 particular countries separately. Sir, there seems to be a problem or a misunderstanding. I said, yeah, there is a misunderstanding. You're not taking your MS-13 people that you sent into our country. You're not taking them back. And I'm going to not give any money to your country forever. You're never getting 10 cents. And in all cases, they said something to the effect, sir, it is so bad that I didn't know about this. I wish I would have known about it. We would love to take MS-13 back into our country. We love them very much. We will take them back, sir. And that day, that afternoon, we started bringing them out of our country by the thousands and thousands and thousands. And the worst part of the story is, now, I still didn't pay them. I figured. But now they're getting $4 billion a year under Biden. Biden said, do it. Maybe she knew about it. I don't want to blame her if she didn't. But $4 billion, you know why? Because he wants them to create a beautiful environment so that they say that that's not going to happen. Okay, the money's going to be stolen all over the place. So instead of $750, it's now at $4 billion. An estimated 75% of arrests in Midtown Manhattan and over 60% of arrests in Queens are now illegal aliens. Congratulations. Congratulations. And you know this. In Queens a few months ago, an illegal alien released by Kamala Harris, she was in charge of the border, approached two 13-year-old children with a machete in broad daylight, forced them into the woods, tied them together by the wrists and raped them, injured them terribly, very badly. You know about it. In the Bronx, another illegal alien that Kamala Harris set loose into our country approached a 36-year-old woman while pretending to ask for directions. Ma'am, he said, I'd like directions to someplace. Before he wrapped his arms around her throat, pinned her down on a park bench, and raped her all night and beat the hell out of her. And you know what she said? She said, he didn't rape me, he tried to kill me. That was her expression when the police came. And on Coney Island, a place I know well, just weeks ago, two migrants, Kamala let in, raped a 46-year-old woman with a knife to her throat. She was badly, badly beaten, probably going to live. For every New Yorker being terrorized by this wave of migrant crime, and I've been talking about migrant crime for 5 years, I said, if you let them in, it's going to be hell. They are vicious, violent criminals that are being let into our country. They're people that their countries who are very smart, they don't want them. That's why all over the world, a lot of people coming from jails out of the Congo in Africa. Where do you come from? The Congo. Where in the Congo? We come from jail. What did you do? We will not tell you. They're coming from the Congo. They're coming from Africa. They're coming from the Middle East. They're coming from all over the world. Asia. A lot of it coming from Asia. And what's happening to our country is we're just destroying the fabric of life in our country, and we're not going to take it any longer. And you got to get rid of these people. Give me a shot. You will have a safe New York within 3 months. 3 months. For every New Yorker being terrorized by this wave of migrant crime, November 5th will be your liberation day. It's going to be liberation because you are living like hell. You're living a life like hell. I will launch a special task force of elite federal law enforcement people, many of whom I already know, that are tough, and charge them with crushing the MS-13 remnants. You know, the problem is I got them out and now they come back in. They just walk back in like there's nothing to it. But eliminating MS-13 in every foreign gang and organized criminal network opening up on American soil. They're coming in by the millions, not by the hundreds. They're coming in by the millions. Think of it. Probably 21 million people. That's probably a low number. We can do all of this and more, but patriotic New Yorkers must get your asses out to vote. Gotta get up. Gotta get up. Harry, get up, Harry. Harry, get your fat ass out of the couch. You're gonna vote for Trump today, Harry. Get up, Harry. Come on, let's go. Let's go, Harry. We gotta vote. Gotta vote. And I believe we have the vote. You know, it's an interesting thing. Evangelical Christians, they tend not to vote very much. If they did, you'd never lose. Gun owners, I have the total endorsement of the NRA, have had it from the beginning. Gun owners don't vote, meaning they don't vote in a proportion that they should. Very small numbers vote. It's probably rebellion, who knows what it is. The gun owners have to get out and vote. Evangelicals, Christians have to get out and vote. People have to get out. There are some groups that don't vote like they should, and we're going to win. We're pleased to be joined tonight by members of Congress that are really terrific, that are warriors, really warriors. And one of them in particular, I love what she did to that woman at Harvard. Oh, that was not pretty. Elise Stefanik. Where is Elise? Where is she? Where is she? She is so great. Where the hell is she? Thank you, Elise. Boy, she was great. Mark Molinaro. Great. Nick LaLota. Nick. Thank you, Nick. Great job. He's doing a good job. Here's another one doing a good job. I gave him a big endorsement, Anthony D'Esposito. He's doing a great job. Thank you, Anthony. Salt. Salt, Anthony. Remember, fellas, salt. Brandon Williams, doing great. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you very much. Nick Langworthy, terrific guy. Claudia Tenney. Where's Claudia? Where's Claudia? She's been amazing. Congressional candidates, Mike LePetri. Where's Mike? Thank you, Mike. Good. I heard you leading big. And Allison Esposito. She's a tough one. Allison, thank you. Thank you very much. It's tough, you know, when you have this many people. I'm looking around. Where's one person? Thank you very much, Allison. Beautiful. Senate candidate Mike Sapriacone. Mike Sapriacone. Come on, Mike. Where's Mike? You got to win, Mike. We got to win that one, Mike. You can do that. You can do that. A former senator and a friend of mine for a long time, and we had disputes every once in a while, but generally I would say it was a 10 relationship, and he was a tough cookie, Senator Al D'Amato. Right? Good man. A good man. A great lawyer and congressman, and he helped me a lot during impeachment hoax number 1 and impeachment hoax number 2. They were hoaxes. Congressman Lee Zeldin. He's great. And he's a big part of our campaign, and I want to bring him to Washington with us. He's a great lawyer. Get ready. Ambassador to Israel, David Friedman, who's fantastic. A mayor who was a fantastic mayor, very shy kind of a guy. He took crime. It was terrible. It was at a level that was as bad as today. And he made New York the safest big city in the world. Rudy Giuliani. Boy, Rudy, isn't that great? And his son, who happens to be a great golfer. A lot of people say, oh, how's Andrew? Not that good. Let me tell you, he's seriously good. Andrew Giuliani. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. Did a good job. And a very beautiful little boy who went through hell. But I brought him some presents. That's why I was late for you today. I brought him presents. I said, Liam, do you think the crowd of 20,000 plus a lot of people outside, you know, we put up big televisions on the back of the building, but that's not like being here. It's wonderful. Hello out there. I hope you're enjoying it. Big, big, beautiful screens. We have big screens. Not quite like being in the third row, first row. But Liam LaCastro is here, and he is a great young man. He's gone through a lot, but he's going to be better soon. Right, Liam? And I got him the most beautiful present. He's a great boy, great parents, beautiful sister. Also with us are members of New York City Firefighters Union, Local 94, the largest in the city. Thank you, fellas. Incredible people. And in their honor, and I think this is a big deal, because in your honor, I am announcing tonight that as president, I will officially make the Ground Zero site at the World Trade Center a national monument, protected and maintained by the United States government, so that hallowed ground and the memory of those who perished there will be preserved for all time, preserved forever. And you deserve it. A lot of great people. I met them last week. Thank you. Thank you. Well, and I met him last week with the ceremony, and it was a beautiful ceremony, and met a lot of fantastic people. The New Yorkers who created the 9/11 National Memorial Museum really did an amazing job, didn't they? And many of them are here today, and I want to thank them. And I want to ensure that their outstanding work is sustained forever, and that's what we've done by doing this. So we are just 48 days away from the most important election in American history. The most important. The most. Stand up. Now you can stand up. They didn't put your name down. Turn around. Who is he? Name him. He took care of business, right? It's my man. Good. Boy, I'm glad I didn't forget you. Good guy. Good friend of mine for a long time. Whenever I had problems, I'd look at him and they'd say, let's leave Trump alone. Thank you, man. Thank you. We appreciate it. Great gentleman. Kamala Harris is for wide open borders with terrorists and criminals pouring into our country, more inflation, even higher than the last 4 years, which was a record. She wants to pack the Supreme Court. Think of that one. And today, I heard it all. I thought they wanted maybe 11, maybe they wanted 13. That's an unlucky number, so maybe it would be 15 instead of 9. But instead of 9, Kamala wants to bring up potentially as many as 25 justices so that they can rig the system like they rig everything else, including elections. And maybe one of the worst things of all, she is a true believer. And again, I said this before, if you want to defund the police, if you've been there even for a day, in your mind you want to defund the police even for one day, you are not qualified to be the President of the United States. Because anybody who wants to defund the police, we can't have it. We can't have it. It'll go down. It'll go down. We're not going to let our country fail. It's too great. And you know what? If we don't win this election, it's very possible we'll never have another chance. We have to do it. You have to get out. You have to vote. But Kamala vowed to abolish ICE. She supports free health care for illegal aliens. How about that one? You don't get free health care. These are all things that she was for years. Now, for the last little while, she's saying, no, I don't really think that was right anymore. 15 different things. She wants mass amnesty and citizenship for all illegals, which means totally bankrupting Social Security and Medicare. She wants to put illegal aliens into your Social Security and your Medicare system, which guarantees their bankruptcy. She says we must not utter the words illegal alien again or radical Islamic terrorist again. And think of this, during her 3.5 years, to me this is the worst thing I talk about tonight, it's unbelievable. During her period of 3.5 years, she was in charge of the border. She lost more than 325,000 migrant children, many of whom have been trafficked, raped, and many of whom are dead. Many of whom are dead. Think of what that is. That's like Yankee Stadium filled up many, many times. Think of it. Think of it. As California Attorney General, she redefined child sex trafficking, assault with a deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person. I'd never heard of this. Rape of a very unconscious person as totally nonviolent crimes. She vowed repeatedly to ban fracking. She imposed a natural gas export ban that is crushing the state of Pennsylvania. I'm way up in Pennsylvania, by the way. This helps. Because she's not going to let, the day after the election, all of these things come back. I hope you know that. She praised the idea of a tax rate of between 70 and 80%. And her only idea for solving inflation is to impose communist-inspired price controls, which have never worked. She pledged to abolish. Does anybody here have private health care? You worked hard. She wants to abolish anybody that's worked hard and made some money. Private health care, no more private health care, and force everyone into a socialist government-run health care with high taxes and deadly wait times. And she even endorsed free sex change operations for illegal aliens in detention, all at taxpayer expense. Now think of that one. They come into the country illegally and they say, I want to change my sex. Oh, that's okay. She's totally in favor of it. I'm sure she'll deny it now, but that's what she is. In 2021, Joe Biden tasked Kamala Harris with bringing broadband to rural America. Rural America was dying for it and gave her $42 billion to do the job. 3 years later, right now, not a single home has been connected to broadband. Everyone's saying, what happened to the money? $42 billion, not one home. And in the Midwest, you read this, in the Midwest, they built 8 charging stations. That's like a gas pump with electricity, right? 8. They spent $9 billion to build 8 charging stations. Other than that, it really works well. I will end the electric mandate on cars immediately. And I have to say this, look, Elon Musk is great. He's a great guy. And he makes a great car. And as strong as I am on this, because I think they're incredible, but it's limited. Some people want them and some people love them. I think they're incredible. And he makes a great product, maybe the best product I hear. And he understands this. Some people have to go far distances. Some people don't want the additional cost. Some people don't want their car built in China. Electric cars will be built in China. I'm going to bring back the auto industry. We're going to have gasoline-powered cars. We're going to have hybrids. We're going to have electric cars. We're going to have everything. The new one is hydrogen. I heard about that the other day. Hydrogen. There's one little problem. If it blows up, you're dead. It's great until one day there's a little bit of a problem, Anthony, and it blows up. And when that happens, it's not a pretty picture. So I think I'll take a pass on that one if you don't mind for a while. And just today, 3 agencies of the Kamala Harris and Joe Biden administration, the FBI, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence and Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, they just released a report confirming that Iran actors hacked into the Trump campaign's email accounts and in turn sought to give the hacked materials to the Biden-Harris campaign. They gave them all of the materials because Biden is working with Iran, and Iran doesn't exactly like me because they were ready to make a deal, except we had an election that was rigged and stolen. And look at what's happening to our world now. But no, Iran hacked into my campaign. I don't know what the hell they found. I'd like to find out. Couldn't have been too exciting. But they gave it to the Biden campaign. I can't believe it. Oh, yes, I can. But this is really foreign election interference. This is real election interference, not the phony crap that they've been trying to pin on me with Russia, Russia, Russia for years. Whatever happened to Russia, Russia, Russia? Remember the 51 intelligence agents? They said, no, no, the laptop from hell, it's Russia. No, it was Hunter. Hunter. It was Hunter. Remember that? We had to go 2.5 years, and then they finally said, all right. The Mueller, remember Mueller? He said, in millions of phone calls, Trump didn't make one to Russia. They went through every phone call I made. Can you imagine? In millions of calls, not one call to me. And a lot of people apologize for that, but not enough people apologize. They wasted time and money. They spent hundreds of millions of dollars going after me, and they got nothing. They got nothing. But we cannot allow this insanity to continue anymore. That's why less than 2 months from now, we are going to tell Kamala that we've had enough. Kamala, you've been a terrible vice president. You will be an even worse president. We're not going to take it anymore, Kamala. Kamala, you're fired. Get out. You're fired. We're not going to take it anymore, Kamala. That was a little line from The Apprentice, which I'm sure you haven't seen. What a great show. Was The Apprentice good or what? From the moment we take back the White House from Kamala Harris, I believe we are going to have the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. Starting on day 1, I will seal the border and stop the migrant invasion, an invasion like no country has ever seen before. We will stop it immediately. We will carry out the largest deportation operation of criminals in American history. We're getting them out of our country. We will make America the dominant energy producer in the world by far. We have more than anybody else. And we have more. Think of it, we have more than Saudi Arabia. We have more than anybody else, especially when you add Anwar in Alaska, which we will reinstitute immediately. We're going to use it along with growth. We are going to grow to start paying down our debt. We have $35 trillion in national debt. We were all set to do it. And then we got hit by COVID. We had to focus on that. And then we gave back. You know, I got great marks on the military. We took out ISIS, wiped out ISIS 100%. We did it in 4 weeks. It was supposed to take 4 years, 5 years. And I got great marks on the economy, never got great marks on COVID because they didn't want to give them to me. But the fact is, we did an unbelievable job. Nobody knew what the hell it was. It came from China. It came from the Wuhan lab. I said all these things. And we did an unbelievable job. And we handed over a country whose stock market was higher than it was just prior to COVID coming in. And amazing. But we did have to focus on that. Think of what China did to us. The world has $60 trillion and millions of people dead over that disaster. Think of that. The whole world, even China suffered very much. They suffered at the end more than almost anybody. I will turn the United States into a manufacturing superpower more than it has ever been before. We're going to bring back the car industry. We're going to bring back the car industry. Other countries that make us pay a tax to do business with them will be charged the same tax when they send their product into the United States. We have countries, not only China, many countries, many of them are allies. Some of the worst trading countries are allies. Don't let that word surprise you. They're allies. They're friends of ours, and they take advantage of us horribly on the military with NATO and on trade. It will be called the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act, and if China or any other country charges us a 200 or 100 or 300% tax, then we will charge them a like 100, 200, 300% tax in return. You charge us, we charge you. And my message is very simple. Make your product right here in Uniondale. Make your product in America. Make your product in America and only in America. And if you do that, Bruce, you won't have to pay a tax. And they'll be coming in here like you wouldn't believe, right? The worst that happens, we'll take in a lot of money, but we don't even want that. We want them to make their product. We're going to bring back the auto industry. Right now, China's building some of the largest auto plants in the world, and they're building them in Mexico. And they think they're going to build these massive plants, literally the biggest in the world. They're going to make millions of cars and sell them without tax across our border. We will put a tariff on all of those cars to a point where they won't be able to sell them, because we want them to build their plants in the United States and hire many of the people in this audience, and that's what's going to happen. And we also have something that's basic, but wow, people said, you're really smart. Where the hell did you think of this one? No tax on tips. So if you're a waitress, a caddy, a driver, but maybe better, no tax on overtime. And we'll get it done. We'll get it done. Unlike him with student loan debt that went nowhere, just to talk. We get it. I get it all done. Remember what they say, promises made, promises kept. That's me. And ready? Here's for the seniors. Do we have any seniors in the audience? Raise your hand. You ready? No tax on Social Security benefits. No tax on Social Security benefits. And you know why you deserve it? Because you lived like hell with the highest inflation probably in the history of our country, and you couldn't make ends meet. Now you're not going to have to pay tax on your Social Security benefit. And I will always protect Social Security and Medicare, and they won't. They're going to destroy it. They're putting the migrants all over the place, including there. And while working Americans catch up, we're going to put a temporary cap on credit card interest rates. We're going to cap it at around 10%. We can't let them make 25 and 30%. We will terminate the Green New Scam and spend trillions of dollars. We're going to take the Green New Scam, one of the greatest scams in the history of our country. Remember when they used to say global warming? They don't say that anymore. They say climate change because the planet's actually getting cooler. Climate change, Chuck. Climate change is different. Just Chuck Zito. Oh, I feel safe with him in the front row. Are you afraid of climate change, Chuck? Because now it's no longer global warming because that wasn't working so well, because it was getting cooler. Now it's climate change because that covers if it's warmer, it's cooler. We're going to take all of that money, we're going to take it, and we're going to rebuild. We're going to take this money from the Green New Scam. It's a Green New Scam, one of the greatest scams in history. And we're going to spend it on roads and bridges and real infrastructure. And we're going to pay down debt, not fake infrastructure that's caused massive inflation and has no benefit whatsoever for our country. And I will settle the war in Ukraine. I got along very well with Putin and Zelensky. And I will end the chaos in the Middle East. A vote for Kamala Harris is a vote to obliterate Israel. That's what's going to happen. Israel will not exist in 2 years. And by the way, we are closer to World War III right now than at any time during anybody's life in this beautiful room. I will stand with Israel and we will return a thing called peace through strength. And we're going to get it settled. We're going to get it done. We're going to get it done. We're not going to have war in the Middle East. We're not going to have war with Russia and Ukraine. You know, when I was there, we didn't have any war other than ISIS. I finished them off. We knocked out al-Baghdadi, the founder of ISIS. Think of that. We knocked them off. It was supposed to take 4 to 5 years. I did it in 4 weeks. General Raisin Kane, what's your name? Kane, sir, what's your first name? Well, they call me Raisin. I said, your name is Raisin Kane. That's the general I was looking. He did it in 4 weeks. The Russian attack on Ukraine and the October 7th attack on Israel would never have happened if I was president, would never have happened. Think of what the world would be, and think of what our nation would be with no Russia-Ukraine war, no October 7th disaster in Israel and the Middle East. It's inflamed right now. It's inflamed like nobody's seen it for 50 years. No inflation and energy dominance. That's what it would have, energy dominance. We'd have no inflation. We wouldn't have either the Middle East or the Russia, Ukraine. What a different world it would be, wouldn't it be? Oh, we can't let them cheat on elections anymore. We can't let it happen. We will rebuild our cities, including Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. Right now, we have a capital that when you go down there, you have a damn good chance of being hurt, mugged, something. And we will keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. We're losing that, but I'll keep it. I'll keep it. China wants to take it over, and if that happened to us, that would be like losing a war. That would be the biggest thing. That would make us a third world country. We will keep our dollar as the reserve currency. Remember I said it, and it will be easy. It'll be easy. But this is how we will end the era of inflation, mayhem, misery under Kamala and Crooked Joe, and unleash safety, prosperity, and peace for Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. That's what we're going to do. Together, we will deliver low taxes, low regulations, low energy costs, low interest rates, low inflation, so that everyone can afford groceries, a car, and a home. Very simple. Right? We will stop the invasion, end migrant crime, support our police, strengthen our military. I want to wish a happy 77th birthday to the United States Air Force. And if you remember, I created Space Force, which was the last since Air Force, which will soon be 5 years old. Space Force has turned out to be very important. We will build a missile defense shield around our country, keep critical race theory and transgender insanity out of our schools, and we will keep men out of women's sports. We will defend the Second Amendment, restore free speech, and we will secure our elections, and we will secure our borders. Everyone will prosper, every family will thrive, and every day will be filled with opportunity and hope. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris and the crooked Democrats. So we must stop her country-destroying liberal agenda once and for all. So get everyone you know and vote. We want a landslide that is very simply too big to rig. Too big to rig. Right, Bruce? Too big to rig. Joe, too big to rig. Too big to rig, Joe. I think we can do that, too. On November 5th, we will save our economy. We will rescue our middle class. We will reclaim our sovereignty and restore our borders. We will put America first, and we will take back our country, because together we will make America powerful again, make America wealthy again, make America healthy again, make America strong again, make America proud again, make America safe again, make America free again, and we will make America great again. Thank you very much. We love New York. Love New York. Thank you. God bless.
All right, checking everything out. So it is now 8:39. Trump spoke for about an hour and 40 minutes and brought it home. He looked so much so much more energized and comfortable being back in New York City, the place, his home. As much as he's come down here to South Florida and basically taking up residence at Mar-a-Lago, he's a New Yorker. And he's buildings with all his name on it, things that he's done, storied career, television, everything. He felt at home. So the big news from tonight, a lot of us have heard the speech before. This one had a lot more energy. People were enthused. But the big news from tonight, he said he believes he can win New York. That is amazing. It's dumbfounding that he could be in a position to win New York. We're all wondering, why would you do a rally in Long Island inside of New York? Yeah, the one in the Bronx did well, but it wasn't anything like this. This is huge indoor arena where the Islanders hockey team plays. And he announced right off the bat, in the first, I think, 5 minutes, we're coming for you. We are coming for New York. So if his internal numbers are showing him and his team that they could be putting New York in play, Katie bar the door. This could just get crazy. I mean, absolutely nutty crazy really quick. Because if New York is in play, then you gotta believe Virginia's in play. And if Virginia's in play, then maybe New Hampshire is in play. I don't know. I don't see any internal polling. But if he's telling the truth, which there's no reason why he wouldn't be, the Democrats are in huge trouble. Couple that with what happened today with the Teamsters and how they took over and said 58% to, 41, that they're voting for Trump. So much so that the Washington Post had to come out and say today, yeah, this is a bad, bad day for the Democrats. And it was a bad day all the way around. The Federal Reserve had to lower the interest rates. We saw the stock market, there he is walking off. Lower the interest rates 50 basis points. Basically, they usually do it in 25 basis points increments, but they did it twice. So, did it once, but they did two tranches of it. So it's 50 basis points. It's going to kill the dollar. The Federal Reserve Chairman says this is because of unemployment. What a bad day for Kamala. What a bad day to be a Democrat. All these things happen simultaneously or concurrently, one right after the other. Then the senator that was interviewed by Benny Johnson came right out in the open, talked about MK Ultra. Then in the Middle East, you got Benjamin Netanyahu just blowing up places all over the place. Pagers, cell phones, solar tiles on roofs. What a crazy 24 to 48 hours. I also forgot all the stuff that's been happening in Springfield, Ohio. And how everybody on television rushed to say it didn't happen. None of this stuff has happened. Well, come to find out that they did know. In March, not just yesterday or last week, in March, they've got people at the podium talking to the city commission and saying, listen, you know what they're doing to the cats and the pets, right? And he's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, what do you mean? I thought you just said it didn't happen. Then they got another woman from Springfield on a hot mic. If you guys haven't seen this one, I'll have to download it tomorrow. One of the city commissioners, quote, says on a hot mic, I don't give a S about the business of this city. You're an elected official in Springfield, and you have the audacity to say, I don't give a S about the business of this city. They don't care. Can't even imagine how much they're getting paid to bring these illegals into town. It's newcomers. Sorry, said the wrong thing. It's crazy. Above majestic red pill move. This was a serious red pill move. I can see people in the Democrat Party having sphincter problems, sphincter spasms. Like, oh my God, did he just go to New York and bust it out? Yep. So I can tell you what's going to happen on the news. You're going to see CNN and MSNBC. They're going to trot out AOC. They're going to trot out every Democrat politician they possibly can. Then no, he's not going to win New York. There's no way he can't win New York. Somebody in the chat said something very, very interesting as well. They said in the chat, even if he's not really close in New York, with the show that got put on tonight, it's going to cause Kamala and the Democrats to spend money to see if they need to do anything to, basically save New York. It's fighting a war on different fronts. Instead of just focusing on Pennsylvania or Michigan, now she has to wonder, do I need to direct troops over here to New York? Yeah, you might have to now. And meanwhile, while you're running over here to New York, he's heading back to the Midwest, and he's going to go to, Springfield, Ohio. The mayor of Springfield said, don't come. Don't even come. We can't have you here. You're telling an American, forget that he's a candidate, you're telling an American, don't come to my town. Don't even bother coming here. We can't have you here in the entourage. What you really mean is you can't have that spotlight. If I was a newcomer after what I saw tonight, I'd start packing my shit. Yeah, I think it might be a good time to start investing in some Samsonite. Get ready. Forget the pets and cats and dogs. You might want to go rip off some luggage. He's coming for you. She ain't going to be able to help you. We want you gone. I don't mean people who want to come the front door. I think maybe, put it this way. If Trump gets in and he's telling people, I'm going to deport, he should tell people, okay, before we bring you to the bus, go ahead and fill out this paperwork and we'll vet you. We'll see, what do you have? We don't want you to be a strain on our resources. How are you going to be self-sufficient? What do you do? Are you a carpenter? Are you an electrician? Are you a dirt cookie chef? What do you do? Because if you don't do anything, we're not looking for any more welfare recipients, okay? Sorry about that. Hope that doesn't make you mad. And no problem with you, but you're going to have to go do that back there. Oh, you're in a gang? No, you go to the front of the bus. Just go ahead and get on. Don't want any criminals. Now, some of these other countries don't have the same type of databases, so we got to figure out who these people are. But it's going to get absolutely nuts. I mean, when I heard he was going to New York, I even sat back and go, why would he be doing a rally in Long Island? Now we know. According to what he said, it's in play. I'm coming for you. Hey, Kamala, see all these people here? These people here all know other people who couldn't get in. They all know other people they work with. They have family members. They are tired of you not putting Americans first. I saw a couple comments in the chat where people were saying it over and over. You never hear Kamala Harris with energy and passion talk about making Americans' lives better. She never says it. It's always about help this person or that person. What about the whole of America? You don't even address gas prices and real estate prices and interest rates. So yeah, today he dropped it a little bit, but it's going to hurt people. That's why gold shot through the roof. And then on top of all of that, the MK Ultra and everything else, now you've got the Republicans saying, we need you to go ahead and pass the SAVE Act as a part of the continuing resolution. So just so you know, the government's about to run out of money again. They always run out of money, and they take it to the last day up until 11:59 when they're supposed to close it down. And then what happens at 11:59? The Republicans cave. Every single time. Not this time. Not this time. Mike Johnson, if you want to stay as Speaker of the House, the rest of you spineless Republicans, shut it down. We don't care. Save the country. Die on this hill if you have to. Do not just cave and go, all right, we took a vote and we can't get it passed, so we do need the money because we need to pay for this other stuff, so we're just going to let it go and pass this continuing resolution. Don't be a spineless you-know-what. Don't do it. Stand firm. We're all behind you. Stop it. Save the country. In fact, I'm going to show you this. There's a trend on Twitter right now, and that trend on Twitter is called shut it down. Actually, shut it down is a trend. Let me show you what Trump, I was looking at what time he posted this on Truth Social. Trump posted this. If Republicans don't get the SAVE Act and every ounce of it, don't whittle it away, get the entirety of the SAVE Act, they should not agree to a continuing resolution in any way, shape, or form. Democrats are registering many newcomers by the tens of thousands as we speak. They will be voting in the 2024 presidential election, and they shouldn't be allowed to. Only American citizens should be voting in our most important election in history or any election. Not after the election when it's too late. Be smart, Republicans. You've been pushed around long enough by the Democrats. Don't let it happen. Again, remember, this is Biden-Harris's fault, not yours. He's absolutely right. Your back's against the wall. You cannot have these people voting in a federal election. Yeah, you don't control what happens at the local level, but you have to stop it. I believe that most, if not an overwhelming amount of Americans are like, stop it. Do not let these people vote. Period. If it means shutting the government down, shut it down. Don't worry about the media talking crap about you. Who cares what the media says? At this point, you know, you've seen. They're feckless. They don't mean anything at this point. I don't care whether it's Wolf Blitzer or anybody else. Let it go. Let them talk. Let them scream. Let them complain. Let them do whatever they want. Stand firm. Die on this hill. Do not let these newcomers vote in the election. If we wake up in the next couple days and we find out that these Republicans caved and they're not going to let them pass the SAVE Act and they're going to let it happen just so they can get a continuing resolution done, you know they've sold us out. And at that point, if it doesn't get attached to this continuing resolution, they are going to try and get them as votes. We got no other choice. We have to do this. We have to make it happen. And that's it. That's where we got to go. Call your local senator, your local Congress people. I mean, your representative, and tell them, stand firm. Hold the line. Hold. You seen the commercial? Let them know. Do not punt on this. It is the biggest thing probably has ever been before Congress, and I can tell you what their modus of operandi is. They will go in. They will make the grandiose speeches. They will say whatever they want. Then they'll vote, and it probably won't pass. How do I know that? Because we've seen it over and over. And then when it doesn't pass, they turn around and go, you know, it didn't pass. We gave it our best shot, but we still needed to get the government money, so we went ahead and funded it. No. Shut it all down. Shut it down. I don't think these Republicans understand how fed up Americans are. We're up here. Our tanks are full. We're over it. If you got to shut down the government, then I can't go to Yellowstone Park, so be it. Make sure the military's paid. You got contingencies for that. That's fine. Everything else, shut it down. I don't care. Let it grow cobwebs. Do not even think of just, waving a white flag on this thing. Lou Frada said, yeah, they've sold us out decades ago. Stand up and don't let us die on our knees. Yeah. You got to tell these people. Let them feel the heat. Shut it down. Call your people. Light up their phones. Do it. All of it. MK2 Ultra is a CIA program. If you don't know what it is, look it up. I'm telling you, look it up. Do these people who have taken shots at Trump look like, guys that would be this type of quality asset? No. How did it happen? Look it up. I think the deep state has scared Johnson too bad. Well, he was at Mar-a-Lago a couple days ago. And so maybe Trump said to him, don't do it. Don't even think about it. At this point, people have got to begin digging in hard. Republicans sold themselves out many times. Jeffrey Stein says, shut it down. Absolutely shut it down. I mean, I hate to see... Well, somebody asked me, what was the question about Social Security? No, if they shut down Social Security, if they shut down the government, you still get your Social Security check. What does a wild animal do when it's backed into a corner? It comes out fighting. Fight back. Claws, teeth. Do whatever you need to do. Do not let the Democrats win. You've got them on the ropes. I don't think enough Republicans realize you've got them on the ropes at this point. You just got basically the endorsement of the Teamsters, not the unit, not the entity, but 1.2 million Teamsters are like, well, at least half of them are like, we want Trump. People are counting on this right now. They don't like the life that they're living. Mike Johnson, you may never see this, but I hope there's enough people here to say to you, Mike Johnson, stand up, be a man, don't be limp-wristed. Done, over it. Mark Dice has a lot of info on MK Ultra. Yep, he does. If Mike Johnson betrays us, then I'll never vote again. I can't tell you. It is what it is. You're right. Not this time with VA benefits. Shut it down. So most of you people seem to agree. Shut it down and stand firm. Shut it down and stand firm. We Americans don't care. Shut it down. Don't be the coward that some people think you are. You ever notice, you look at these people in Congress, and all of us went to high school. Many of us went to college. And these people just don't look like tough guys. They look like beta cucks. And then when they get to Congress, they act like beta cucks. That's why they probably freak out about Donald Trump. Here's this dude. He's walking in here. He's alpha male. He's 78 years old, and he can probably kick the butt of most of these guys in Congress. He walks in. He's 6'3", he's 6'4". He's a big hulking dude. He's done everything, business, personal, the whole 9 yards, and he's looking at these. How do we vote these people in? How do we vote these beta males into office? It's amazing to me. And at some point you have to just grab them by the neck and go, hey, enough. I know you got stuffed into a locker when you were in high school, and I know none of the chicks really looked at you when you were in high school, but now you're on the big stage. Be the BMOC. Be that big man on campus, at least this time. Just once in your life. Just once in your life, stand up to the bully. We got your back. That bully takes a shot at you, we're going to come in mass and help you. You got backing. Stop feeling like you need to fold. I'm sick of it. Now, I understand at 10 o'clock, Trump, I don't know if he's calling in or if it was a taped interview, but he's got to be on Gutfeld, so you may want to watch Gutfeld tonight. Shut it down now instead of shutting us out forever. Yep, absolutely. I'm wondering if tonight, if tonight's rally, if any of them looked at this and go, people are fired up. Now I feel inclined to stand up to all these people and say, no, that's it. Sign this or you're done. I have a feeling the Democrats might cave. You see, I don't think that they think that Kamala can beat him anyway. I think they know it's all been a show. I think they all know it's been a facade. So at this point, it might be something that they could push and get it done, because Gavin Newsom might be looking for 2028, or they may have somebody else in the wings. But Kamala Harris isn't it. If I was a Democrat, I wouldn't want to die on a Kamala Harris hill either. Hey man, she ain't that strong. And so unless all of y'all are compromised, unless the deep state's got stuff on all of you, which is possible, I don't know if I'd fight for Kamala Harris. I'd let her go. Let her get trounced. Let her just get absolutely curb stomped. Because, you'll live to fight another day. If the Republicans stay strong and make this thing happen and let Trump get in there, man, big time. It was taped. Okay, somebody said Gutfeld's thing was taped. Oh, and I forgot. Trump became the first president in the United States history to make a transaction with Bitcoin. So he, in addition to the Teamsters, he touched all the crypto bros as well. These are the people, she has no idea what she's talking about. She's being told, she's being fed a line, Mark Cuban's telling her stuff, and she's not even in contact with most of the people who are actually looking to do something. He's killing her. I firmly believe that. She can go on and do a taped interview with the National Association of Black Journalists, and nobody's watching. Nobody watched that. It was boring anyway. I had to watch it because I had to report it to you. Oh my God, it was boring. She does a speech today. I watched it on Twitter. There's like 2,800 people watching. That's it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And now she's got pictures with, P. Diddy. And she's congratulating P. Diddy. Yeah, crazy. All right, so let me go ahead and give my acknowledgement to everyone who was wonderful enough to give a donation today. Just want to let you know we're back here. I may do, depending on what happens, may do a live video tomorrow, but then we've got also 6:30 tomorrow. Trump will be talking and giving a speech. It'll be much more subdued. I know sometimes when people come in and they watch speeches and they're like, well, he looks really tired tonight. Well, he looks tired. It's a speech. It's not a rally with 16,000 screaming fans. It is a speech. Well, anyway, it's a huge speech, especially what's been going on in the world. It's a huge speech. He's talking to the Israeli-American consul, I believe it is, tomorrow. So he's basically going directly to talk to Jews and tell them, hey, man, if you want to survive in America, you might want to vote Trump. So let me go ahead and do this. I have to acknowledge them. If you have to leave, I understand, but I want to make sure every single person is acknowledged. It may take me a couple minutes. So if you're leaving right now, thank you. If not, let's get to this. And don't forget 6:30 tomorrow. All right, JKC, thank you. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, JKC, for $50. Thank you. John Torres, God bless you, Barry, and thank you for everything you're doing. You're a true patriot. Thank you guys for watching. As you may have seen in the chat, we went over 300,000 subscribers. Had no idea when we started doing this, no idea that this would happen. I started off doing the Miami Dolphins, and from there, I started talking about Donald Trump in March. March 18th was my first post about Donald Trump. March 18th. So we're talking today would be the 6-month anniversary. Today's the 18th. March 18th. Yeah, 6 months. You guys have got behind me. Thank you very much. Tim Simon, thank you. Big Cat, what's up, bro? My red pill is every morning I get my omega-3s. Get them red pills, people. It's time. Some dead prez, thank you. Andy Cow, thank you. Mark of Reality, I've been in the UAW during my long time on this planet. A union endorsement is much more important than just the number of votes. It's also money and volunteer work. Who's going to truck in the mail-in ballots? Ooh. Good point. Good point. Giacomo, thank you. Barbara Farley, twice, thank you. Catherine, Trump will take New York, absolute landslide. How long has it been since a Republican has taken New York? Lisa Burke, thank you. Barry, GOP press conference on YouTube last night revealed the urgency to exit the WEF. That's got to go. We got to get out of there. We are about to be taken over by the New World Order. And without them firing a shot. Diane Kellerman, thank you. I love Trump. I know he can take New York. I hope so. Barbara, again, thank you. Tim Allred, hi, Barry. My first time in the chat. Just wanted to say I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. Not just saying that. I mean it. We're endeavoring to build much more than people watching videos. We're endeavoring to build a community. I hope you enjoy yourself. I hope you enjoy the interaction. We've got a great set of mods. My daughter's in here. My wife's in here sometimes. And we just thank you for tuning in. EMAC Tactical. As a PA resident, the only two places that matter in Pennsylvania are Allegheny County, which is my county in Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia. These two deep blue cesspools control the entire state. What a shame. What a shame that these people who live in Philadelphia and live very close to these neighborhoods where there's zombies, just zoned out on drugs, just sitting there, oh my God. And they keep voting Democrat. I think it's called Kensington. Look up Kensington, Philadelphia on YouTube. You'll be amazed. I'll give you time to write that down. Kensington in Philadelphia. Look that up. Tiger Stacker. Again, my job won't let me off work election day, but Charleston, West Virginia allows early voting. You get there. Christy Christian, thank you. Just another knucklehead. Hey, man, thank you for coming back. Tip jar, hits keep coming. Teamsters, didn't that O'Brien speak at the RNC? Yes, he did. Not a surprise, but to see no endorsement of demons. Yeah, he had to save some face and go, nah, we're not going to endorse Trump, winkety wink. Hey, Mr. Heath, something election-related is coming out about one state that won't be eligible to be certified if they don't fix things tomorrow or the next day. What state would that be? Georgia? Arizona? Thank you, Brenda. Moko Jr., thanks for what you do, Barry. Wish I could shake your hand. Well, here's a virtual handshake right there. Thank you, sir. Angel Melendez, Barry, is it true that explosive was found in a car in a rally today? So let's address that. I got a bunch of emails from people who were talking about, there was a bomb that they found. The Nassau Police Department said no, there was no bomb found, if we believe what they say. What they said was they found somebody who was training a bomb-sniffing dog. Why would there be somebody on the grounds training a bomb-sniffing dog in the parking lot or wherever close to the venue where Donald Trump was going to speak? That's the story, and they are sticking to it. Do your own research. Absolutely. We are eating away at their pathway to victory. Real numbers after 16 years. I graduated high school, and real numbers are being displayed to the American people. Thank you, Barry, for all you're doing for us. Yes. I love the fact that at this point people are calling out the stupidity and the absolute fraud of these pollsters. I was doing a poll show every Friday. I'm going to do one probably tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and I have to show you just the opposite, how these things are being manipulated for stupid people. Nate, thank you. The Ukraine war will be the October surprise. Yeah, they tried to hit Russia really hard. Don't know how that's going to work out. Barry, should we take our money out of the bank scared? I will never tell you what you should do with your money, especially taking it out of the bank. What I will say is maybe you diversify. Maybe you put some in crypto. Maybe you put some in gold. And maybe you keep some in cash. And that way you spread it around in case something happens. That would be a diversified strategy at this point. Hey, Ray Smith, thank you. Mountain Goodness. Bruce Langworthy, thank you very much. Congrats on a 300K. Trump is in a blue state, and look at all those people. You don't see Kamala doing that in a red state, do you? Nope, you won't. I know they showed her in North Carolina, but we also saw all the buses. There weren't no buses. These were people who lived there. Just a Girl, thank you. Mike McCarthy, thank you very much. The Orange Panther strikes again with about 26 assassins from all over the globe. Trump decides to find the vice president alone and put her in a back in a mental asylum. Penny Quarter, thank you. Tommy Slagle, thank you. Edwin Mendez, hey man, Edwin, congrats, Barry. I came in around 3K. Wow, 300K. You owe us a little dance tonight. Godspeed, Maggot. All right, so you must have been talking to my daughter, but I'm going to do the Trump dance. My wife is going to film me, and it'll be posted tomorrow. And you were here when I had 3,000 subscribers? Wow. Barbara Farley, thank you. Susie Bonham, Trump will win, but very dangerous time for him. Very dangerous time for us all. Just remember that. Divine Science predicted the last 2 assassination attempts. It sucks that we have to say the last two. We didn't say the last, because the desperation tells me they will probably try again. And when you keep trying to take this man out, you're underscoring that the polls are fake. You're underscoring that the media is lying. Remember that. You don't attack someone if you already know you're going to beat them. You know, Tanya Harding didn't take out Nancy's kneecaps because she thought, I'm going to win anyway. I don't need to take out her kneecaps. You only do that kind of crazy stuff when you know you're not really going to win. You're not even competitive. You need to take out the other player. Do your own research. Dems are going way too much. They're especially desperate right now, and everybody knows it. You can smell it. You can absolutely smell it. Life after retirement, thank you. Oh, you're back in the hospital again. I hope you're feeling better. Hope you feel better, man. Sorry to hear that. Look for me on Twitter. Let's talk. Rainy Day Lady, Washington State is run by corrupt Dems. It's lost, Trump fans. Yeah, unfortunately. Some places just aren't going to get fixed. Gina Duncan, Dorothy just threw water on the Wicked Witch of the West. Disco Mommy, thank you, Barry, for putting out the truth. Thank you for watching, Disco Mama. Brenda DiMaggio, thank you. Gene Hickey, congratulations, Barry. So glad I found you. I am glad that you found me. Thank you very much. Keep coming. Thanks, Barry, for making this channel. You are my number 2 source after the New York Post. All right, Tom, well then tell me what I need to do to become number 1. Maybe more frequency? Let me know. I asked Ashley and some of the mods to begin asking questions. Do you guys want to see me do some like short, quick hits throughout the day? What I'm thinking about doing is like doing one or 2 minute videos. If something pops and it's newsworthy, jumping on and dropping a short, I don't know, YouTube short, so you guys can get some news that breaks. Anthony Solomon, congratulations on 300,000. Thank you. Barbara, thank you. Flowers for you. Thank you so much, Barry, for bringing us the truth. We love you. Love you guys back. Truly. I wouldn't have 300,000 subscribers without you. Rachel, thank you. And something else I want to thank you guys for. Let me finish this. Thank you, Barry, for your time showing and explaining everything we all need to know. And Jim Daniels, thank you very much. Oh, I still got more way down here. All right, thank you, Jim Daniels. 300 the hard way. Facts. Baby Black Boomers for Trump. Yes, absolutely we are. Thank Asia. Marcus Anderson, hey brother, give me my new lady friend a red pill. My ex was undercover Democrat, fired her. Get out. You had to upgrade. Okay, you got the upgrade. That's very cool. 300K, congratulations, Barry, from Marion. Thank you. Cyber and Maisie, thank you. Van Lightfoot, God bless Trump, and God bless you too, Van. Jennifer Justice, thank you. Adabanjo Lakoiji, well, what a name. Thank you. Sweets, you beat all the news agencies. I'm trying, and we're building a little company here, with Ashley's working, got the mods out there. I don't say their names enough because I don't know how many of them want to be public. You see Tommy Lawrence is one. He uses his actual name. SV, Roaring Rage, Sinvi. Unless they say my actual name, I'm just going to call them by their handles. Georgia Budney, thank you. Pao Zhao thank you. Pastors for Jesus will vote to MAGA. Thank you very, very much. Ruby Langdon, thank you. Robert Cooper, USA for Trump. Joey Boyle Drum Streams. Joey Boyle Drum Streams, thank you. Bruce Wayne, let's send the aliens back to their country, bring the prices back down, bring down the inflation, close the border, make America great again. Yeah, I'm for that. Atlas Power, Trump got jokes. I'm laughing so hard right now. He's roasting. Yeah, he was. Janice Wilson, thank you. Marcus Anderson again. Diddy and Obama. Diddy was vote or die 4 years ago. I have to watch what you say. But I'm telling you, this Diddy thing, I think there's some fire under that smoke. I think we're going to hear some big names. I think we're going to see some people take off and get out of the country. That ain't over. And I don't see Diddy and the lifestyle he lived, taking this big life sentence and going to jail forever. Tweet, 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 tweet. Time to start talking. Jonathan Adams shut down the NGOs sponsoring these people. Yeah, it's just money laundering. Harriet Gass, North Carolina for Trump. Jay Beard, God bless you, President Trump. Dash Hound Lover, appreciate you, Barry, and your family. Be blessed. MAGA Trump train, thank you. Tim Allred again, make America again. Yes. Dan J, Wisconsin here, Trump fans 2024, thank you. Work and play, Teachers for Trump. Let's get the woke mind virus out of schools. I think that's one of the, maybe number 2 after get rid of the newcomers. Let's do that. Let's get our schools back in order. Let's get the transformers away from kids. Absolutely. Mimi, thank you very much. Louis Peretta, you are the best. Thank you. Thank you very much. AVP, Barry's channel has become my go-to for truthful news. Thank you, Barry. Truthful news. I will endeavor to keep it true. Yes, I do add opinion, but I try to, let you guys know what's going on. Don Magic Wand, thank you. Honeybee, hey Barry, congratulations on a 300K. Thank you very much. Dwayne Drewer from Canada, thank you. We're watching from Canada. We have Justin Trudeau here. Our country really has gone downhill. I can't imagine how much cheating they had to do in Canada. I can't believe the Canadians have kept this guy in, legally. I can tell you right now, Trump is not the liar. Kamala is. I hope Trump gets in and helps Canada as well. Thank you for Barry showing the truth. You're welcome. Jennifer Seidel, Buffalo, New York for Trump. Thank you. Gary Brashes, Republicans rule. Thank you very much. Donna, there has to be some sinister deal that they have made with these countries. Why else would they shut the dang border, even though they're killing us? Oh, there's a deal. There's definitely been some deals made to make all these people come here. Paddlefoot, they're taking our money. Trump, the leader America needs for the people. Debbie Etheridge, thank you. Ron Stevens, we are America. Eric Schweitzer, I really think the Lord has his hand in his election. He has a hedge. Cover Trump, keep him safe. God bless Trump, we love you. Barry, God bless you and your family. Thank you, and God bless you and your family. Lisa Burke again, thank you. I'd love to see Maryland go red. Jamie Raskins. There's not many people I just really don't like in Congress. Jamie Raskins is one of them. And that other Jasmine Crockett girl, don't like her at all. Emma Jacob, thank you, Barry. Trump 2024, Mark Cologne, keep spreading the word, I will. Brad Crane, thank you. Judy Leslie, thank you. Came late for live, but we'll catch it on replay. I hope you're watching right now. Unicasa, hey Barry, Professor Nez just dropped an official letter from the United States Senate stating Kamala misused broadband money, $42 billion. What will happen? Nothing before the election. Trump was talking about that today. And he said that, you took $42 billion and you're supposed to give, so many people, the people, the poor people, they need the broadband for free. And you took $42 billion and you got nobody. Same thing with the energy, the plug-in things, the charging stations for electric cars. You built like 7 of them. Where's the money? When Trump wins, I can't wait for Elon to get in there and open the books. That's one of the things I think these people are terrified. They're going to find out who took money, how much they took, and it's going to blow people's minds. Kathy Green, thank you. Mike Anzadula, I'm a government worker and I can say shut it down. I prepared for it. Good man. Kathy Green, where'd you go? Where'd Kathy Green go? It jumped. Okay, pray. Yep, thank you. Ozark Ghost Hunter. Okay, I tried this last time. Gonna try again. I made a joke, Barry. What does Tim Waltz and Arby's have in common? Don't say it. They both have horsey sauce. I knew that was coming. You know what's funny about the Tim Waltz thing? I told my wife about it. I said, Robin, you're not going to believe this, which nobody has refuted. You understand? No one has said it's not true. And she's like, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. And indeed it was. Crypto Crackhead trolling Barry with Super Chat so he doesn't leave. I ain't gonna worry. Always after, I gotta go through all these. Flowers for you. Thank you for the flowers. Thank you. Happy 6-month anniversary, Barry. Thank you for all you do. Thank you very much. Yep. I had the channel a long time. It was real estate before then, and then it was the Dolphins, and it was social media marketing. But my first post about Trump was March 18th. Let me continue here, but thank you very much. RBI Sports, great night, and it's not over. Cheers to you all. Yep, watch Gutfeld tonight. I'm all in, Barry. Let's do it. For the memberships. Yeah, absolutely love to hear that. She's going to be running that. DOL third. Barry, please interview with Jesse Lee Peterson. I don't even know who Jesse Lee Peterson is. I'm going to have to do my homework on that one. Dry Heat, thank you. Sully Canuck, you're from Canada. Just found you tonight, Barry. Subscribe. All the best from Canada. Thank you. I hope I don't disappoint. And finally, East Dad, Black Gen Xers in Jersey for Trump. Thanks, Barry. I'm a baby boomer. I'm not Gen X. I'm a baby boomer, but I am black. So I'm with you at least in that regard. All right, everybody. Thank you very, 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 very much for tuning in. It's 9:20. You still got time. Grab something to eat, kiss the baby, put the dog out, and then watch Gutfeld at 10 and see what Trump's got to say at that point. Thank you very much. Don't forget, tomorrow, 6:30, the speech with the Israeli-American community.